Recently, the public was invited out to the Richland Creek Reservoir for a tour of the facility currently under construction.
We met with Kelly Comstock, project manager, after the tour. Let's roll the tape. Hi, we're here at the Richland Creek Reservoir with Kelly Comstock with Brown & Caldwell. We have just finished a tour of the reservoir to see the progress. We learned a great deal. Kelly, what is the benefit, do you think, to the citizens for coming out on these tours?
So we've had a lot of interest in the overall program. People hear a lot about it, but they don't actually get to see what it looks like. So it's a great opportunity. We've had tons of people asking us, hey, can we do a tour? And so we decided, yes, let's consolidate and do a series of field days where we can get a large group of people together and go tour all the facilities so they can see the construction as it's happening and better understand what we're doing out here.
So has the reaction from the citizens, has it been good when they've come on the tour?
It's been overwhelming. All of the tours have been filling up almost immediately, which means we're going to have to schedule more. We're talking about doing another one in the fall, but it's great because they actually get to understand a little bit more about Paulding County's water supply and the great investment that the county is making into their water system in the future.
Well, thank you for allowing us to come out, and I'm sure the citizens are thankful as well.
You're very welcome. It was a pleasure to have you, and we're very pleased that the community's interested in this project.
We recently hopped on our Firebolts and flew over to Crossroads Library.
There we met with Matt Phillips and attended a Harry Potter party. We're here with Matthew today at the Crossroads Library. Thank you for joining us today, Matthew.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little about what you have going on here today?
We have our Harry Potter party, 3 to 6. It's fun for all the houses. Doesn't matter whether you're Ravenclaw or Hufflepuff. There's something for you. We've got raffle prizes, the sorting. You find out if you don't know your house yet, you should. We've got games, prizes, all the snacks that you could want. Everything is good.
Can you share with us what's going on at all the libraries?
Of course. At New Georgia, they have their own Harry Potter party going on. July 25th, 4 to 6. If you've missed ours, you could still get sorted and have fun, snacks, games, and all the fun stuff. At Dallas Public Library, we have Snapology. It will involve a Snapologist expert coming through and teaching kids how to use Legos and the like. At Maud P. Ragsdale Hiram Library, Resume Review. It's every Friday from 10 to 4. Patrons can schedule appointments for one-on-one assistance if they'd like. And here at Crossroads, we have Paint and Sips, and a program for the adults, of course. Paint away your heart's content. We've got mocktails for you to enjoy at the same time, of course.
Thanks for being with us today, Matthew, and giving us all this great information.
Of course, thank you.
Hope everyone had a great June. I know we did. We had a great time at many of the events, especially the Run with the Badges 5K. This year is flying by. We are already into July, and there are so many free things happening around town this month. This is the PC Scene. A quick reminder about Independent Dance at the Pole Barn at Taylor Farm Park. It's July 6th from 5 to 9. Bring your family, friends, picnic, and blankets. Fireworks start at dusk. The Old Town Hiram Business Association is hosting Freedom Fest 2019 on July 6th from 3 to 7. Come hang out in historic downtown Hiram. It is a family fun event with free entertainment, live music, free face painting, and free games and prizes. The Raccoon Creek Bluegrass Festival is back this year with a great lineup all weekend. It's at Raccoon Creek Music Park in North Paulding County. The festival is on July 12th through the 13th, rain or shine, and tickets can be purchased at the gate. Emmy-nominated Atlanta-based puppeteer Lee Bryan is back at the Dallas Theater. Lee combines his live vocal characterizations and original songs with innovative puppets that delight all ages. That puppet guy, Lee Bryan, will be performing 2 shows on July 16th at 11 and 2 p.m. Tickets are available on the Dallas Theater website. Food Truck Friday in downtown Dallas is on July 19th from 6 to 9. Make sure to check it out. Georgia Classic Rides is back this month with their block party at the Watson Government Complex on July 27th from 4 to 9. Don't forget about the Dallas Farmers Market. Every Saturday morning, vendors gather across from the old courthouse with their goods. Among the goods available are local produce, honey, artesian breads, eggs, jams, cakes, cookies, all-natural soaps, plants, and fresh-cut flowers. It's a fun place to shop. Remember, this Saturday in downtown Dallas from 8 to 12. Make sure to get out this month and enjoy everything our county has to offer. If you see us at any events, make sure to come say hi. Have a great 4th of July. Back to you, Austin and Felicia.
Thank you for joining us for the July 2019 edition of Paulding Post.
We hope that everyone has a fun and safe 4th of July holiday.
Happy birthday, America, and stay cool, Paulding County. We'll see you next month.
Hello, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want you to please join me while I explore Paulding County, Georgia. Today, we are headed to explore Larry C. Ragsdale White Oak Park. White Oak is located off of Highway 61 South at 298 Mustang Drive in Dallas, Georgia. The park has been in operation for roughly 12 years and boasts 92 acres of area just waiting for you to come out and enjoy and explore. The park is open from dawn until dusk 7 days a week, so let's go check it out. A vast array of Georgia's and local nature can be seen all throughout the park, making it one of the best places for you to get out and enjoy the outdoors here in Paulding County. The park's green space is perfect for an afternoon picnic, kite flying, watching birds, or getting out to play catch with the kids. The park is usually filled with visitors, especially on the weekends, as it is one of the county's most popular stops. Educational opportunities abound in nature, and White Oak is a great place to enhance your knowledge of the great outdoors. There's a fully paved 1.5-mile walking trail available for all fitness levels to enjoy, and it's the perfect place to enjoy the beautiful park scenery. Who wouldn't love taking in nature while getting a little exercise? Walking is also one of the simplest ways to get and stay active, and this easy-to-access trail is the perfect place for that. There is a trail fitness system around the track if you are looking to up your workout or to build strength and flexibility while getting in a cardio session. But no worries, the trail is perfect for those who are just out for an afternoon stroll or getting some fresh air. White Oak is also home to 2 playgrounds that cater to children of all ages. Play benefits children in so many important ways, so let's take a look at what type of fun the playgrounds here have to offer. If you are looking for different fitness activities or just fun in general, come out and enjoy the park's 16-hole disc golf course. The sport is rapidly gaining in popularity, so White Oak is a great place to come practice your skills. The course starts directly behind the playground, and there are plans to add 2 more holes in the future. Whether a pro or just looking for something new to try, this disc golf course is perfect for a day of fun at this beautiful park. Hey, let's see if I can make this shot. There are also volleyball courts available here at White Oak. Get your friends together and come out to the park for a friendly match. The courts are first come, first served, so get here early and enjoy a fun and competitive game or two. Three lakes are available for anyone interested in a morning or afternoon of leisurely fishing. Each lake hosts a variety of bass, brim, and catfish, so bring your fishing poles and gear next time you are in the area. The lakes are a perfect area for fishermen of all ages and experience. White Oak has beautiful pavilions available for rental as well. There are 5 open pavilions, 2 enclosed pavilions, and picnic areas with grills that are perfect for your next birthday party, reception, or even family get-togethers. For pricing and availability, please call the Paulding County Parks and Recreation Department for more information and details. So, today we learned that White Oak Park is the perfect place to get outdoors and explore, whether it be on the trails, fishing at the lake, or just taking in nature in the vast green space. So, be sure to make White Oak a priority on your next stop here in the county. Thank you again for joining me today, and we will see you next time to explore more of Paulding County, Georgia.
So on today's tour, we're going to go to 3 different places. We're going to go to see the dam that's under construction. Then we're going to go to the reservoir intake and pump station. And then we're going to come back here and see the plant. So you'll be able to see all of those different components. If you've traveled along Highway 61 over the last year, you're well aware of the pipeline. And I'm happy to say that that pipeline is finally off of Highway 61. So traffic is back to normal there. We thank you for your patience during that entire period. This is the dam that's under construction, and the reservoir is actually going to be going back this direction. So when we drove down that hill, you would have entered the water at that point, and it's going to be a lake from this point back. We're standing right now at an elevation of about 895. The normal water surface level will be 910. So we will be there'll be 15 feet of water above us when the dam is full. So if you turn around and look, you can imagine everything at our level back, all the way back to the far tree line will be covered in water. Now you see a bunch of trees are still there, you'll notice. We did that on purpose. We wanted to wait to clear the whole pool of the reservoir until we're right about to fill it. Because if not, every time it would rain, we'd have to deal with 300 acres of uncovered material. So we tried to limit the clearing initially to the area that's needed. So the dam itself, you can see it's an earthen dam. It uses about 2.5 million cubic yards of soil. So a typical dump truck holds about 10 yards. So if we had to bring this material in from off-site, it would have been about 250,000 dump trucks worth of soil. So luckily, they're able to borrow areas on site and use that material here, so we're not having to bring any of that traffic out onto 61. The dam itself has a concrete core to it, a wall that runs down the center to prevent water from seeping through. And then additionally, in the bedrock below, grout was injected down 80 feet below the dam to prevent water from traveling under it. So there's a solid grout and concrete core that prevents water from seeping through. And then the rest of it is earth on top of that. The base of the dam is about 825 feet, and it's about 4,000 feet long when it's all in place. You'll see that structure out in the center, that tall concrete column, and then the 2 other concrete structures. There will ultimately be a bridge out to that center column, and that column will be used as an emergency overflow. in case too much water gets into the reservoir. It would flow through there and through a 60-inch diameter outlet pipe that goes downstream into Richland Creek. Now, when we created this, we basically dammed up Richland Creek, which means Richland continues. So if we were to trap all of the water, it would dry up the creek downstream. So we actually use that outlet structure to release small quantities of water to keep the stream going downstream. I mentioned all the water coming in here is pumped up, but we recognize some of that we're going to have to release from there to go downstream. And the permit has certain requirements for temperature and water quality, so we have certain levels within that structure we can pull water off of. If we pull from too deep, it may be too cold, so we can bring it up closer to the surface. Right now they've placed about 2.2 million cubic yards of soil. They've got about 300,000 yards left to go. On a good day, they can do 14,000 yards. So we're within a month, hopefully, if the weather is good, to be able to get it done. And believe it or not, today is not an ideal situation, because when they place the soil, it has to have a certain moisture content. And one thing you notice today, it's dry. So the best situation is if it's raining like every third day for about a half of an inch. That keeps the soil moist enough to where they can do the work. What they have to do now is they have to spend a lot of time conditioning the soil, and you'll see water trucks. A lot of them are on lunch right now, but they have to constantly spray water out here to keep it the right moisture content, or else it gets really dry like we've seen. And the flip side of that is we don't want it to be too wet, because then they can't get the right compaction either. And this entire fall and spring, from like September through March, they got very little placement done, because if you recall, we were getting rain after rain after rain, and it was just too wet. So they're making a lot of progress. We're anticipating within the next month and a half, they'll be able to top it out, and then they have to get all the grass established, wave protection, get everything ready to go, and then we'll be able to close the gate off and block Richland Creek and be ready to start bringing water in. The schedule for bringing water in is not until the fall time frame. That's when the pump station will be done on the Etowah. We'll start bringing water in, and we'll fill it up at different levels. Because it's an earthen dam, the state really regulates how quickly we fill the dam. We can fill the first 30 feet of it as quickly as possible, so we could do that in probably 3 weeks. The next 30 feet, we can only do 2 feet per week, so that'll take about 15 weeks. And then the final 30 feet, because it's about a 90-foot depth, that has to be 1 foot per week, so that'll take 30 weeks. So from the time we start filling until it reaches its full pool, we're looking to close to a year to be able to fill it that entire distance. The whole time the state monitors the dam. This is a Class 1 dam, which is the highest level, similar to Allatoona Dam or Lake Lanier. This is the highest level dam that the state has, so it's very highly monitored. We couldn't ever allow trees or anything to grow on that. The public's not supposed to be on it, that type of thing. So the county ultimately will be responsible for maintaining the lake, both from the water supply standpoint, but then also from a recreation standpoint. The county owns the entire property around the lake, and part of the requirement is to have a 150-foot undisturbed buffer. So if you're out on the lake, you're not going to be able to see homes right up on it. People aren't going to be able to develop, because the county owns the entire area.
And here we will have different levels that we can actually pull water from the reservoir, so that as the reservoir drops, if we're in a drought situation and the level drops, we'll be able to keep pulling water from lower and lower. When we get up here to this structure, and as you walk across this bridge, this is kind of open, so it'll feel high. But when the reservoir is full, we'll be about 12 feet above the water level. And the pumps that we see in here, they're vertical turbine pumps, but they're about, I think, 88, 87 feet deep. So they're really, really long. But we'll see all that as we walk across. So y'all are welcome to come on across the scary bridge. And each one of these pumps can pump up to 9 million gallons a day. And we, of course, have 3 ends, so there's 27 million gallons a day of flow possible going up to the plant. The total amount that we can actually pump from the river, if the level is up at a high flow, we can go 45 million gallons a day to fill the reservoir. The initial size of the plant is going to be 18 million gallons a day, so an instantaneous flow of 45, you can do your total day flow in less than a day, obviously, just by pumping faster. In the future, as we go to a higher flow rate, we have some additional spaces here to put more pumps, and we'll basically just mirror this, put 2 more in there. We'll have a total of 5 pumps in this building.
As Russell said, we're pumping water from about a mile, that last mile we drove, along the roadway, and the pipeline comes up into the front of this building here, and this is where the main treatment process happens. At the far end of the building, we add a coagulant, a chemical that basically destabilizes the water and takes all of the particles that are within the water and causes them to come together and start to form larger particles. Then passes into a zone that's called DAF, or dissolved air flotation. We actually inject tons of air into the water. The air attaches itself to those particles and float all those particles to the surface. And it creates a mat of solids of everything that was in the water. And that goes off to waste into that thickener. And the clean water comes here and goes into the filters. And so these will be dual media filters. It'll be sand and anthracite. And the water passes through, 5 feet of that media, and it pulls out any of the microscopic organisms that are within the water, and it comes out basically purified or cleaned. And then from here it goes downstream, and you can see those large blue tanks. Those actually have granular activated carbon, or GAC. So the same type of thing you would have like in a Brita filter. These are very large Brita filters, so the water pumps through those. It further cleans the water, and then it goes by gravity down. Chlorine is added to disinfect it, and it goes into that large white tank at the bottom. It's called a clear well, and that'll store about 6 million gallons of water. Paulding County, if you recall, I said uses about 12 million a day. So you guys are using 2 of those tanks a day worth of water. So we have some contact time to allow the chlorine to contact the water, and then it gets pumped that 13 miles down to the Highway 278, where it gets into the distribution system. There's a bunch of support activities to help that process happen. I said the solids go down there in that thickener. It basically raises the concentration of that sludge. It then gets pumped into that building that has a high-speed centrifuge, which is like a very, very fancy washing machine that basically spins the solids and removes the liquid. So what comes out of it is basically like dirt material, and then that gets disposed of. The building over there has all the chemicals that are used in the process, that coagulant I talked about, sodium hypochlorite, which is like a bleach that's used for chlorine, as well as fluoride for tooth protection, dental protection, and then those large tanks on the outside are actually lime. That's used for corrosion control and to raise the pH of the finished water going out in the system. I always laugh about bottled water because they try and do all these marketing ploys, right, about alkaline water. And, we've been adding alkalinity for years to tap water, but now they do it and they call it, they charge an extra $2 a gallon, but anyhow. So don't get me started on that. So the water goes out in the distribution system. The facility has to be manned 24 hours a day. So there'll be a staff of about 12 people because you have to have multiple shifts. At a minimum, there'll always be 2 people on here at all times. The building directly across from us, you'll see when you leave, is an admin building. So there we have a laboratory where they do water quality monitoring. We have admin offices, we have locker rooms, we have a break room and a space, as well as a control room where they basically can control everything. I talk about bottled water. One of the benefits of tap water is that throughout this treatment process, there are online sensors that look at the water quality continuously all the way through the process. So if something's going wrong in the DAF unit, we would know it before it hit the filters. Something went wrong with the filters, we would know it before it hits the GAC. So there's all sorts of monitoring that has to happen continuously, real time, around the clock. Bottled water, it's completely opposite. They're regulated by the Food and Drug Administration. They do periodic checks. So they'll run, a month's worth of production and then they'll do a check, and if something goes wrong, then they have to do a recall. And that's why you always see recall for chicken and stuff, because it's totally different regulations. So you should feel confident that the water that you're getting, every drop of it is monitored real time throughout the entire process. And the treatment process we're using here is very similar to the process that's used by Cobb County Marietta Water Authority. So you can expect a very, very identical water quality to what you have now. It'll actually be better because you'll be closer to the source now. You won't have as high of a water age as you had previously with Cobb Marietta Water Authority.
So Tina, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about the first recipe that we're going to be making?
Absolutely. We're going to be doing a spinach artichoke yogurt dip. You know, you go to a party, you're talking to your friends, you're having a good time, and you're just dipping into the dip. Most of your ordinary dips are full of mayonnaise or sour cream, things that are high in fat. The good thing about Greek yogurt is high in protein and low in fat. So you're getting good nutrition. Add that to some vegetables and you've got a great dip for vegetables, crackers, whatever, and it's low calorie. It's basically 92 calories a serving.
Sounds great. So let's get to making it.
Absolutely. So Ashley, to start with, we're going to use you can use either a box or bag of frozen chopped spinach. You want to thaw it first and squeeze out all the water. So we've got our spinach already in our bowl. The next we're going to add is one 12-ounce jar of artichoke hearts, and you want to go ahead and drain them as well and chop them.
And I love artichoke hearts.
Artichoke hearts are very, very healthy, and I think a lot of folks don't realize that. I've got mine chopped kind of big, but you can chop them up finer if you want. That's totally a personal preference. All right, so then the next thing is that awesome Greek yogurt. We've got 1 cup of fat-free plain Greek yogurt.
That's such a good substitute.
It is, and be sure that you do check and make sure it's Greek. The biggest thing is Greek is smoother and it has more protein than other yogurts. And then we do use cream cheese, but we use the fat-free cream cheese. So it's only a 1/4 cup of fat-free cream cheese. And sometimes if you leave it setting out a little bit, it gives it more of an opportunity to soften up. And then we've got a 1/4 cup of Parmesan. Now this is shredded Parmesan, but you can use grated. It would be, again, less chunky, but again, it's a personal preference. I like the shredded.
And I love the taste of shredded Parmesan.
I do. And I like my dips chunkier, you know, and again, it's a personal preference, but I do like them a little bit chunkier.
I do too.
And then this is 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. You could use regular mustard. You could use the spicy brown mustard. It just gives it a little bit of, you know, a little bit of a kick.
Okay.
All right. And then fresh dill. Now this is about 1 tablespoon of fresh dill. And dill just gives things such a fresh flavor.
I love the smell of fresh dill.
It is awesome. So I'm mixing it up as I go, just so that, you know, I'm not having to mix everything at the end, and also it gives that cream cheese a chance to mix up in there. All right, then 1 teaspoon of minced onion, and it can be dried. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put the salt in. It's about a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt.
Okay.
And then the very last thing is some garlic powder, and it's also a 1/4 teaspoon. And again, after you put everything in and you mix it up, you can taste it and adjust things to taste. You can add a little pepper in there. If you wanted a little hotter, you could even put a little bit of, you know, cayenne pepper or something in there. And we just mix it all up really good.
It looks really delicious.
It looks so good. And it smells really good too. So then we would take this and put it in the fridge and let it chill for a couple hours. That'll get it kind of, you know, the chance for all the flavors to mix up. And when it comes out of the refrigerator, it looks something like this. You also can chop some more dill on top and just kind of make it look pretty. You can use, we've got carrots, you can use carrots, broccoli, celery, cucumbers, even little tomatoes, and then of course crackers, tortilla chips, all that to dip it with. So let's try it and see how it turned out.
Absolutely. Best part of it.
That is spot on.
Very good.
So I hope you guys like this. I think it's going to be a really good addition to your party and a good healthy alternative to high-fat foods.
Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I invite you to join me as we look at more ways for you to thrive here in Paulding County, Georgia. Today we are joined by Tina Eddy. Tina, how are you and what are we making today?
I'm great, Ashley, thanks. And today we're going to show you a delicious crock pot chicken fajita soup that's perfect for any night or quick prep meal.
So stay tuned as we walk through this recipe that you can use for any occasion and any time of the year. So today we're here with a really easy crock pot chicken fajita soup recipe.
Ooh, yum, that sounds good.
It is very easy prep, simple ingredients, plus it's really healthy. Pretty much basic ingredients that you just dump in your crock pot and you're good to go.
And that's great, especially during the week. You can put it in the morning before you leave for work and you got dinner ready when you get home.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
So if you're worried about calorie count, this recipe is roughly 264 calories per serving.
That's great.
So very healthy, easy to make.
And you could have 2 servings and still be within a good meal calorie count.
Absolutely.
I'm all for that.
So why don't we start making it?
Absolutely.
So the first thing that we need to do for your crock pot is to make sure to use a little olive oil cooking spray just so your chicken doesn't stick. Or you can use crock pot liners. I don't know if you've ever used those.
Those are great. You just clean up's easy, just throw them away.
Absolutely. So first thing we're going to do is spray our crock pot. Get it good and sprayed. Then the next thing you're going to do is use your 2 to 3 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, depending on how much that you want in your recipe.
Okay.
So we're just going to take our chicken breast.
And you could probably use chicken tender strips or
can.
whatever if you wanted to as well, right?
You can. Like I said, it's very easy. There's a lot of ways that you can make variations on the recipe.
Absolutely.
The next thing that we're going to do is 2 cups of chicken broth. So if you want to take one and dump it. I'll pour the other one in.
Good deal.
And the next ingredient we have is our 2 cans of petite diced tomatoes.
And you could do low sodium on the broth and the tomatoes too if you wanted to cut down if sodium and salt was an issue, right?
Yes, you sure can. And even with the tomatoes, there's different flavors out there.
Oh, yeah.
I know
Some
Italian.
have basil in it or Italian.
Yeah, so if you want to kick the flavor up a little bit, you know, you can definitely do that. The next thing that we're going to do is put in our bag of frozen vegetables, which is just red and green bell pepper and a little bit of onion.
And with the veggies, can you could add other things if you know you wanted to add black beans or frozen corn or something else to make it a little more Tex-Mex type thing maybe?
Absolutely. There's a lot of different things that you can add in this recipe. And the last thing is just your package of taco seasoning mix, which is going to give it a little bit of flavor.
Be your spices and everything.
Yes,
yeah.
and if you like a little spicier, you could even put a little touch of cayenne pepper in it, just whatever your preference is. So we're just going to dump this over.
Yeah. And mix it all up.
And mix it all up. Now for your cooking time, depending on how much time you've got, you can cook it on high for about 3 to 4 hours. Or if you're gonna, dump it in, go to work, you can cook it for 6 to 8 hours on low, and that'll be exactly what you need to get this recipe cooked.
How easy is that?
Super easy.
And good nutrition.
It is, and before serving, just make sure your chicken breast, just shred that up, and you're good to go.
That's cool.
So how about we try?
And we already have one ready to go for us to try, so this is what it looks like when it's done. Ooh, yum. Got a nice fancy spoon to eat with.
So let's take a
try
bite.
this. Yum. Ashley, that's really good.
Very
Add a little
good.
tortillas on top, you know.
Yes, you
or
can
some
add
chips.
chips, a little bit of cheese, kind of make it your
That's
own.
true. Oh, I'm taking another bite. So good. Well, thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you, and hope y'all enjoy making this recipe.
I think you will.
It's incredible, you know, just being here, thinking back to being here for my hometown visit and everything, getting to play on the same stage, same place. But this time, you know, it's not for the American Idol thing. People are coming out to support me, you know, apart from that, which means the world to me that people are coming out and buying tickets and everything. And it's really just a super humbling thing that everybody's come out to this supporting me. Oh, I have countless memories at South Paulding High. You know, I participated in the talent competition every year. I remember my freshman year I got second. My sophomore year I got third. And then my junior year I didn't place. And I was like, man, I'm getting worse. But then I won my senior year. Praise be to God. You know, I've had so many teachers that were huge influences on me. I know I had Mr. Jason Bryce, who now teaches at Paulding County, but he was my drama teacher, and he got me, you know, I really think him made me a lot more comfortable on a stage, goofing around and stuff, and kind of helped me come out of my shell even more with people staring at me. But there's plenty of teachers that I love, you know, Miss Norman, a bunch of them, Miss Wright. Man, Paulding. That's just where I'm from, man. I've been here my whole life. I go to church here. It's what I've always been a part of. I know it's really crazy growing up here, and you know, it's weird, man. It's weird being here and being invited to come sing for all these folks that have been my neighbors. You know, but it's a really humbling thing. It's been an awesome place to grow up, and you know, it's still my home.
Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want you to join me as we explore the Silver Comet Trail here in Paulding County, Georgia. Today we are at the Rambo Road Trailhead, which is at mile marker 22.2 on the Silver Comet Trail and located just off of Highway 278 in Dallas, Georgia. The Rambo Road Trailhead is at mile marker 22.2 on the Silver Comet Trail. This trailhead has paved parking, a restroom, picnic tables, and is 0.7 miles east of the Pumpkin Vine Trestle. This trailhead is the perfect location and stop if you are looking to take a ride or walk to some of the most scenic views on the Silver Comet Trail here in Paulding County. Head out to mile marker 23 west of the Rambo Trailhead and be sure to check out the picturesque Pumpkin Vine Trestle while out on your ride or walk along the Silver Comet Trail. Built in 1901, the trestle was over 750 feet in length and rested 126 feet overlooking Pumpkin Vine Creek. According to the history books on the trestle, Old 88 or Engine 345 jumped the tracks on October 18, 1903, tearing down part of the bridge. The trestle was restored to its current state in 1999 and made available for use on the Silver Comet in 2000. Another scenic spot to check out on the trail is the Brushy Mountain Tunnel. Located at mile 30.9 and about 6 miles east of Rockmart, the tunnel is accessible if you take the Silver Comet Trail west of the Rambo Trailhead. The 730-foot tunnel was originally constructed in 1904 by the Atlanta and Birmingham Airline Railway, which was a subsidiary of the Seaboard Airline Railway. The tunnel was abandoned in 1988 by CSX, but now serves as a famous landmark on the Paulding County section of the Silver Comet Trail. And now we are going to toss it over to Sergeant Ashley Henson with the Paulding County Sheriff's Department to talk to you about safety on the trail.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Ashley Henson with the Paulding County Sheriff's Office. I'm here today to give you some information to help keep you safe while you're on the Silver Comet Trail. We are constantly monitoring the trail. There are 21 camera locations between the Hiram Trailhead at the Caboose and the Tara Drummond Trailhead. Deputies and dispatchers can monitor the trail via tablets to help maintain your safety. Our deputies patrol the Silver Comet Trail every day from dawn until dusk in smart cars, bicycles, ATVs, motorcycles, and UTVs. With that being said, there are still things you can do to make your experience on the Silver Comet Trail a much safer one. While visiting the trail, here are a few good safety tips that you can think about. If you have an emergency, always remember to dial 911. Please remember to describe your approximate location on the Silver Comet Trail by several things. Make sure you watch for and know the closest mile marker to you. Remember the name of the last trailhead you passed. Remember the name of the trailhead or the location where you parked. And remember whether or not you traveled east or west on the trail and approximately how far you've traveled. Remember to use the buddy system. Never go on the Silver Comet Trail alone. And you can always bring self-protection. If you have a Georgia weapons carry license, you can legally carry a firearm on the Silver Comet Trail. And remember, some of the areas on the trail are very remote, and even sections near populated areas can be isolated. So lock your car and make sure your valuables are in the trunk. Keep everything out of sight, such as cell phones, GPS units, iPods, laptops, wallets, pocketbooks, backpacks. Never leave anything in your vehicle, and never leave your vehicle in a trailhead parking spot overnight. And also, remember to enjoy the beautiful trail that we have in Paulding County, Georgia.
So, today we learned that the Rainbow Road Trailhead is the perfect location to enter the trail and enjoy some of Paulding County's most scenic areas. So, be sure to make it down to this part of the trail on your next ride. Thanks for joining me today, and be sure to tune in next time as we explore, unwind, and thrive here in Paulding County, Georgia. Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want you to join me as we explore the Silver Comet Trail here in Paulding County, Georgia. The Tara Drummond Trailhead is in the city of Dallas in Paulding County, Georgia, and is located at the intersection of Seaboard Drive and Highway 278. Ample parking is available and adjacent to the trail for easy access. This stop also has restrooms, water, benches, paved parking, and a large fountain. The Paulding County Government Complex and Veterans Park is located just a short walk or ride away from this trailhead and has a sidewalk available for easy access. The historic city of Dallas is also located just a short distance from the trail, so be sure to plan a day to visit the scenic downtown area while you are here. This beautiful trailhead is dedicated to Tara Drummond, who tragically lost her life in a weapons training incident during a law enforcement training exercise on September 13, 2005. This park is a dedication and memorial to remember and reflect on her life and impact she made in the community. For more information on this park, how to purchase memory bricks, or donate to the park's maintenance, please visit the Tara Drummond Park website. And now we are going to toss it over to Sergeant Ashley Henson with the Paulding County Sheriff's Department to talk to you about safety on the trail.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Ashley Henson with the Paulding County Sheriff's Office. I'm here today to give you some information to help keep you safe while you're on the Silver Comet Trail. We are constantly monitoring the trail. There are 21 camera locations between the Hiram Trailhead at the Caboose and the Tara Drummond Trailhead. Deputies and dispatchers can monitor the trail via tablets to help maintain your safety. Our deputies patrol the Silver Comet Trail every day from dawn until dusk in smart cars, bicycles, ATVs, motorcycles, and UTVs. With that being said, there are still things you can do to make your experience on the Silver Comet Trail a much safer one. While visiting the trail, here are a few good safety tips that you can think about. If you have an emergency, always remember to dial 911. Please remember to describe your approximate location on the Silver Comet Trail by several things. Make sure you watch for and know the closest mile marker to you. Remember the name of the last trailhead you passed. Remember the name of the trailhead or the location where you parked. And remember whether or not you traveled east or west on the trail and approximately how far you've traveled. Remember to use the buddy system. Never go on the Silver Comet Trail alone. And you can always bring self-protection. If you have a Georgia weapons carry license, you can legally carry a firearm on the Silver Comet Trail. And remember, some of the areas on the trail are very remote, and even sections near populated areas can be isolated. So lock your car and make sure your valuables are in the trunk. Keep everything out of sight, such as cell phones, GPS units, iPods, laptops, wallets, pocketbooks, backpacks. Never leave anything in your vehicle, and never leave your vehicle in a trailhead parking spot overnight. And also, remember to enjoy the beautiful trail that we have in Paulding County, Georgia.
Today we learned that the Tara Drummond Trailhead and Park is an easy entry point for you to access the Silver Comet Trail. This access point puts you at a perfect location to either travel from Paulding to Polk or Cobb counties while enjoying some of Paulding County's scenery. We also learned that a stop at this trailhead gives you easy access to the Paulding County Government Complex and historic downtown Dallas. So please join me next time as we find more places for you to explore, unwind, and thrive here in Paulding County, Georgia. Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want you to join me as we explore the Silver Comet Trail here in Paulding County, Georgia. The Dallas Trailhead is at mile marker 19.4 on the Silver Comet Trail, and parking is available directly behind the Dallas Chamber of Commerce. The walkway to the trail is located adjacent to the parking area, but please note that the access walkway is steep. Amenities at the trailhead include a restroom and picnic tables. Looking for shopping or getting in a bite to eat before or after your walk or ride? There are plenty of shops, a grocery store, and several restaurants located just a short distance from the Paulding Chamber. There is a sidewalk that leads to the shops and stores, so access to this area is just a short walk or ride away. And now we are going to toss it over to Sergeant Ashley Henson with the Paulding County Sheriff's Department to talk to you about safety on the trail.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Ashley Henson with the Paulding County Sheriff's Office. I'm here today to give you some information to help keep you safe while you're on the Silver Comet Trail. We are constantly monitoring the trail. There are 21 camera locations between the Hiram Trailhead at the Caboose and the Tara Drummond Trailhead. Deputies and dispatchers can monitor the trail via tablets to help maintain your safety. Our deputies patrol the Silver Comet Trail every day from dawn until dusk in smart cars, bicycles, ATVs, motorcycles, and UTVs. With that being said, there are still things you can do to make your experience on the Silver Comet Trail a much safer one. While visiting the trail, here are a few good safety tips that you can think about. If you have an emergency, always remember to dial 911. Please remember to describe your approximate location on the Silver Comet Trail by several things. Make sure you watch for and know the closest mile marker to you. Remember the name of the last trailhead you passed. Remember the name of the trailhead or the location where you parked. And remember whether or not you traveled east or west on the trail and approximately how far you've traveled. Remember to use the buddy system. Never go on the Silver Comet Trail alone. And you can always bring self-protection. If you have a Georgia weapons carry license, you can legally carry a firearm on the Silver Comet Trail. And remember, some of the areas on the trail are very remote, and even sections near populated areas can be isolated. So lock your car and make sure your valuables are in the trunk. Keep everything out of sight, such as cell phones, GPS units, iPods, laptops, wallets, pocketbooks, backpacks. Never leave anything in your vehicle, and never leave your vehicle in a trailhead parking spot overnight. And also, remember to enjoy the beautiful trail that we have in Paulding County, Georgia.
Today we learned that the trailhead located here at the Paulding Chamber is a perfect midpoint stop in Paulding on your ride between Cobb and Polk counties. With access to shopping and restaurants or even downtown Dallas, be sure to make this trailhead a stop on your next ride. Thanks for joining me today, and be sure to tune in next time as we explore, unwind, and thrive here in Paulding County, Georgia. Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want you to join me as we explore the Silver Comet Trail here in Paulding County, Georgia. Today, we're at the Hiram Trailhead, which is at mile marker 14.7 on the Silver Comet Trail and is located in the city of Hiram in Paulding County, Georgia. The trailhead is near the intersection of Highway 92 and Highway 278 and has plenty of space for parking if you choose to enter the trail from here. This trailhead is one of the most popular stops along the line in Paulding County, so let's go check out what you can do here at the Hiram Trailhead here on the Silver Comet Trail. There is a park adjacent to the trailhead and has restrooms, water, a play area for children, and covered picnic areas available for use. Also, don't forget to bring along your four-legged friends to the Hiram Trailhead and enjoy the dog park while visiting. Looking for things to do off of the trail? Then the Hiram Trailhead is the perfect stop. Just a short distance down Seaboard Avenue are a variety of restaurants, stores, and entertainment, including a movie theater to meet your needs. Also, be sure to visit the bike shop located right off of the trail if you are looking for rentals or bike repairs to get you going back on the trail. If you make a stop at the Hiram Trailhead, make sure to venture west to mile marker 16.98 to the Scenic Railroad Bridge area on the Silver Comet Trail. While here, take a moment to take in the peacefulness and beauty of nature around you and maybe even stop to watch as the train passes. And now we are going to toss it over to Sergeant Ashley Henson with the Paulding County Sheriff's Department to talk to you about safety on the trail.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Ashley Henson with the Paulding County Sheriff's Office. I'm here today to give you some information to help keep you safe while you're on the Silver Comet Trail. We are constantly monitoring the trail. There are 21 camera locations between the Hiram Trailhead at the Caboose and the Terra Drummond Trailhead. Deputies and dispatchers can monitor the trail via tablets to help maintain your safety. Our deputies patrol the Silver Comet Trail every day from dawn until dusk in smart cars, bicycles, ATVs, motorcycles, and UTVs. With that being said, there are still things you can do to make your experience on the Silver Comet Trail a much safer one. While visiting the trail, here are a few good safety tips that you can think about. If you have an emergency, always remember to dial 911. Please remember to describe your approximate location on the Silver Comet Trail by several things. Make sure you watch for and know the closest mile marker to you. Remember the name of the last trailhead you passed. Remember the name of the trailhead or the location where you parked. And remember whether or not you traveled east or west on the trail and approximately how far you've traveled. Remember to use the buddy system. Never go on the Silver Comet Trail alone. And you can always bring self-protection. If you have a Georgia weapons carry license, you can legally carry a firearm on the Silver Comet Trail. And remember, some of the areas on the trail are very remote, and even sections near populated areas can be isolated. So lock your car and make sure your valuables are in the trunk. Keep everything out of sight, such as cell phones, GPS units, iPods, laptops, wallets, pocketbooks, backpacks. Never leave anything in your vehicle, and never leave your vehicle in a trailhead parking spot overnight. And also, remember to enjoy the beautiful trail that we have in Paulding County, Georgia.
So, today we learned that the Hiram Trailhead is the perfect stop for hopping on the trail for your ride, but also accommodating with easy access to convenient shopping and restaurants just a short distance away. Be sure to stop and check out this trailhead on your next ride through Paulding County. So please stay tuned and join me next time for more places to explore, unwind, and thrive here in Paulding County, Georgia.
Good morning and welcome to the first annual Paulding Rides for Wishes bicycle ride. This is a benefit for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. and we appreciate everyone coming. We've got a great turnout. I think we've got around 70 riders, maybe a few more. And so far, and I'm sure we'll have a better total here in a minute, we've raised over $15,000 for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so that's a great job.
Great cause. I ride on the Silver Comet Trail probably pretty much every day, at least 5 days a week. So I love the trail, love the cause, love Paulding County. So happy to be here.
A beautiful Saturday morning. And I want to say thank you to Mr. Frank Baker who put this together. He is so great for our county and charitable events, and he deserves recognition for just getting this off the ground. And it's our first annual, so we look forward to many more.
We're just had a super day. We've broken all of our expectations. Our expectations were about 50 riders this year, the first year, and about $15,000. And so we've shattered both of those. We feel really good about it. It's a beautiful day. So once we take a look at all of the things that we've done, and we look at our after action, we're already planning on next year. So we're excited about that. It was great to have the community come out for this and to share in the event, but also share with our trail. As Ashley Henson said a few minutes ago at our closing session, he talked about the importance of that trail. It is a really important asset for us here in Paulding County, and combine it with this great event to help the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So we're very pleased.
Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want you to join me as I explore Paulding County, Georgia. Today, we are headed out to Taylor Farm Park, located at 1380 Pine Valley Road in Powder Springs, Georgia. Park hours are 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., so let's go see what all Taylor Farm Park has to offer. Looking for outdoor options for children? Then be sure to stop by the park's playground while you are here. The playground is a perfect stop for children of all ages and full of fun activities. There is also a picnic pavilion available if you want to make it a day at the park. So bring your snacks or lunch and make the most out of your time here at Taylor Farm Park. There's also a 1.25-mile walking trail around the park if walking or running fits more of your outdoor fitness needs. Be sure to take advantage of this easy-to-access trail and check out the beautiful park scenery while getting in your next cardio session. Make sure to plan a stop at the park's picturesque 1.5-acre lake while you are here as well. Enjoy the nature surrounding the lake and enjoy a peaceful moment and scenery while you are here. But just remember, there is no fishing allowed at the lake. Be sure to pack your tennis gear for your next visit to Taylor Farm Park. Gather your friends and family for a morning, afternoon, or even an evening high-energy tennis session at one of the park's 4 lighted tennis courts. Tennis is a great fitness option for all ages to enjoy, so remember to add tennis on your list of things to do while visiting the park. The park also has an indoor multifunctional gym if you want to take your next fitness or league session indoors. The gym hosts 6 basketball hoops with 1 lower to accommodate youth play. The gym here at Taylor Farm is also used for indoor volleyball and a variety of other sports and fitness classes. Be sure to contact Taylor Farm for open gym hours and to also find out more information on league sports that cater to a variety of ages. Today we learned that Taylor Farm Park is a great location to meet a variety of athletic needs for both leagues and individuals with both indoor and outdoor recreational options. Be sure to add a stop at Taylor Farm Park on your list of things to do here in Paulding County, and tune in next time as we find more places to explore, unwind, and thrive. Hello, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want to invite you to join me today while I explore Paulding County, Georgia. Today, we're headed out to one of our awesome county parks, Mount Tabor Park. Mount Tabor Park is located on the eastern side of Paulding County at 1550 East Paulding Drive in Dallas, Georgia, and has been around since 2002. The park has 155 acres of space with several trails, baseball and softball fields, tennis courts, and indoor recreational space and options. So, what are you waiting for? Let's go check out Mount Tabor Park. For anyone looking for a variety of recreational options, the Mount Tabor Park in Dallas, Georgia should definitely be on your list of places to visit here in Paulding County. If organized sports is not your thing, then no worries. There is a wide range of aerobic and fitness classes available, such as dance, tai chi, and yoga. Be sure to check out recreation.paulding.gov for a full list of classes offered here at Mount Tabor Park. There are even art classes offered for younger children and teens. The indoor gym is used for basketball, volleyball, and other recreational activities throughout the year. There are youth and teen spring and fall volleyball leagues that play here, and also a winter basketball league. Be sure to call the park beforehand to check on availability. So here we go, nothing but net. Need a high-intensity workout? Then try your hand at racquetball. Did you know that in just 1 hour of play, you can run up to or more than 2 miles and burn between 600 to 800 calories? Up the burn on your fitness routine and book a court today. Make sure to contact the park to reserve your spot the day before or day of if available. Rental is $2 per person per hour. There's even a spring and fall racquetball league for those competitive players out there. If you are a parent, coach, or even an adult looking for organized sports and league play, be sure to stop by Mount Tabor Park for more information on a range of programs available. Mount Tabor has 5 ball fields that any Paulding County team has access to reserve. There are tournaments played at the fields on a regular basis, so be sure to contact a Parks and Recreation staff member for availability and information on use. Tennis courts are also available for use but are first come, first served. The courts are a popular spot at the park, so be sure to get here early to get in a match or two. Not a pro but looking to learn more about tennis, then make sure to contact the park at 770-505-3885 for more information and pricing on your tennis lessons. And don't forget, courts are first come, first served. As you enter the park, please make sure to stop by the 9/11 Memorial Liberty Garden. This garden is a special piece of the park and holds special meaning to Paulding County as it allows visitors to pay their respects to those who lost their lives on that tragic day in 2001. If you are in the area around September 11th, be sure to come out to the September 11th memorial service held here at Mount Tabor Park each year. Everyone is invited to attend and reflect on the memories of this day. For the outdoor enthusiast, Mount Tabor Park has an assortment of outdoor trails just waiting for you to discover. All of the park trails are open to both pedestrians and mountain bikers for use. Each trail differs in mileage and intensity, catering to an array of both those checking out the scene on foot or by bike. And don't worry, although open to both those out for a walk or hitting the trails for an intense bike session, the trails are designed for bikers to go one way and pedestrians to go the other. Be sure to look for the signs at each trailhead to point out your way of travel. Now, let's go check out what these trails have to offer for you. The Pine Pong Trail is 1.5 miles in length, the Rock of Doom 2 miles, and the Booger Trail sits at the longest with 4 miles. So, come on out today and check out these trails unique to Mount Tabor Park and Paulding County. If you have children coming to visit the park, be sure to stop by the playground located near the park entrance and directly across from the 9/11 Memorial Liberty Garden. The park's playground is built for children of all ages to enjoy and is beside a pavilion that is also available for use. Please note that the pavilion is first come, first served, so make sure to get here early. Be sure to take time to enjoy Mount Tabor's beautiful lake as well. Roughly 1.5 acres in size, there is no fishing allowed, but you can still come out and enjoy the peacefulness of the surrounding nature, all while taking in the natural beauty of the park. So today we learned that Mount Tabor is a multifunctional park with many outdoor and indoor recreational options for all ages. Thanks for joining me today, and be sure to tune in next time as we explore, unwind, and thrive here in Paulding County, Georgia. Hello, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want to invite you to join me today while I explore Paulding County, Georgia. Now let's check out one of the county's newer additions, Burnt Hickory Park and the Wayne Kirby Community Center. Not only does Burnt Hickory sit on a beautiful rolling landscape, it also offers a multitude of recreational activities too. Be sure to take an afternoon or day to enjoy this beautiful Paulding County park. Burnt Hickory Park and the Wayne Kirby Community Center is located on the northern end of Paulding County at 8650 Cartersville Highway in Dallas, Georgia. Burnt Hickory boasts 166 acres of recreational space and has been in operation since March of 2011. Burnt Hickory also holds several outdoor rec fields such as baseball and softball fields, lacrosse fields, and tennis courts with many indoor recreational options as well. The Community Center and park staff also offer a wide range of classes perfect for all ages and fitness levels. The center has several state-of-the-art workout rooms available and classes to fit just about any schedule, day or evening. Check out recreation.paulding.gov to find a class that is perfect for you. Take in the view as you make your way into the park grounds. There is one playground on site that caters to children of all ages. Engage in nature, playtime, and even a little physical activity while enjoying and discovering the outdoors with your children. Burnt Hickory also has an outdoor pavilion available for use, and it is first come, first served. Be sure to get here early, especially on the weekends, as this is the perfect area for an afternoon picnic at the park. There are also 4 ball fields that any local Paulding County team can reserve for practice or play. The park is a popular stop for baseball and softball tournaments, so please be sure to call ahead for availability and scheduling. Interested in youth or adult league play? Then make sure to contact the Parks and Recreation Department as well for information on league dates and the registration process. Playing on local league teams is the perfect way to introduce fun physical activity into your fitness schedule. Although a newer sport to the Paulding area and quickly gaining in popularity with youth recreational activities, Burnt Hickory has one lacrosse field available for use. Lacrosse has been a popular sport for years and even considered America's first sport, as some historians have dated the sport back to North American Indian tribes. With several schools in the area introducing lacrosse into their sports rotations, be sure to come check out the field here if you are looking for a place to hone your skills or to take in a game. Tennis courts are also available for use during park hours. There are 4 courts here at Burnt Hickory Park and all are first come, first served. Similar to Mount Tabor, Burnt Hickory Park also has tennis lessons available too if this park is in your area. Please call 770-443-7540 if you are interested in lessons. From kids to seniors, tennis is a sport that anyone can play. Oh, so you're back for more? Want to take your activity inside? Burnt Hickory Park has you covered. Come inside the Wayne Kirby Community Center and take in a game of racquetball at one of the 2 air-conditioned indoor courts. These courts must be reserved and reservations can be taken the day before or day of your visit. Cost is $2 per person per hour. Indoor facility rentals are available at the park to fit just about any size and type of function. There are 3 meeting rooms for smaller gatherings and a large banquet room that will accommodate up to 200 people. Interested in booking your next party, reception, or meeting, then please contact Burnt Hickory Park today at 770-443-7540. So today we learned that Burnt Hickory has plenty of recreational options whether you're looking for indoor or outdoor activities, with a variety of classes available to accommodate all ages and fitness levels. Make sure to add a stop to Burnt Hickory Park on your list of Paulding County activities today. Thanks for joining me, and be sure to tune in next time as we explore, unwind, and thrive here in Paulding County, Georgia. Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want you to join me as we explore more of Paulding County, Georgia. Today we are heading to explore the newest Paulding County park, Mulberry Rock Park. Mulberry Rock is located in southwest Paulding at 1849 Mulberry Rock Road in Dallas. The park is 160 acres total, and the 100-acre first phase formally opened for use in November of 2017. It is the first multi-use park in the southwest Paulding area. So, what are you waiting for? Let's go check out Mulberry Rock Park. Be sure to bring the kids out to enjoy the spacious playground at Mulberry Rock Park. The playground accommodates children of all ages and is the perfect place to bring them to burn off that extra energy. So, parents, make sure to plan a morning or afternoon recreational outing to the park today. The park amenities also include 1 enclosed pavilion, 5 open-air group shelters with picnic tables, and 4 single-table family shelters, perfect for a picnic and afternoon at the park. The enclosed pavilion can hold up to 100 people, and accommodations include heat and air, tables, chairs, a sink, refrigerator, and oven and microwave combination. For rental information, please contact the Paulding County Parks and Recreation Department at 770-445-8065. The trail at Mulberry Park is the perfect location to enjoy the beautiful park scenery and green space. The park has 3 miles of pedestrian trails that loop the entirety of the park and accommodates all levels of fitness, from leisure trail walkers to more advanced runners. The 3 miles includes a 1-mile loop and a 2-mile loop that can be combined for a shorter or longer walking session. The trail even heads into the woods surrounding the park to add even more diversity to your walk or run. Bring your walking shoes and make plans to add a walk through Mulberry Rock Park to your list of outdoor activities. Now I'm going to toss it over to Mary Carol Sheffield with the University of Georgia Extension of Paulding County. She is going to tell us a little bit about the community garden at Mulberry Rock Park.
Thanks, Ashley. We're here today at the Mulberry Rock Community Garden, and I'm Mary Carol Sheffield from the Paulding County Extension Office. I'm the Paulding County Agriculture and Natural Resources Agent, and I'm here with Mike Pope, the Mulberry Rock Community Garden Manager. How many beds do we have?
We've got, I think, 19 beds, and they're $20 a year, and you have to maintain your garden. It's not that hard. You just got to plant it and water it, and you'll have a bumper crop.
So some of the benefits of community gardening that I've learned about in my work are that when people come together, they can learn from each other, and there's a sense of community, which gives it its name, the community garden. A lot of people just think of it as, you know, a place to grow food, but a lot of the appeal of it, I think, is coming together with the people in your community.
So today we learned that a trip to Mulberry Rock Park is something you should definitely put on your bucket list of places to visit here in Paulding County. From the walking trails, playground, and community garden, there's a little something for everyone to enjoy here at the park. Thank you for joining me today, and be sure to tune in next time as we explore, unwind, and thrive here in Paulding County. Hello, I am Ashley Gulick, and I want you to please join me while I explore Paulding County, Georgia. Today, we are heading out to explore one of the county's most multifunctional parks, Veterans Park. This park was dedicated on May 10, 2014, but has quickly become one of Paulding County's most recognized facilities. Not only does the park meet fitness needs, but it also meets entertainment needs as well. The park is located at 240 Constitution Boulevard in Dallas, Georgia, and is conveniently located directly off of Highway 278 at the Watson Government Complex. So, grab your walking shoes and come with me today to explore Veterans Park. Paulding County is extremely proud and thankful for the service of our veterans and those still serving today. As a designated Purple Heart community, the park is a symbol of our gratitude for those that make the ultimate sacrifice to protect and serve our country. If you are a wounded or retired veteran and are visiting the park, please note there is a designated parking spot for you to use in just a small way that we can say thank you for your service. Hit the walking trail at Veterans Park and take in the beautiful landscape as you get in your morning or afternoon cardio session. Each lap is half a mile, and the trail is perfect for all ages and fitness levels to enjoy. Walking not only keeps you fit, but is a great way to boost your mind and mental well-being. So be sure to stop by the park, as a daily walk, even just 15 minutes, can keep your heart and mind active. Also, park visitors have access to emergency call boxes, so the park is a safe location to meet your needs at all hours of the day or evening. And be sure to bring the kids along for your walk in the park. There is a playground and covered picnic area for kids and adults to enjoy. Exercise and play are such a critical part of children's emotional and physical wellness and development, and Veterans Park is the perfect place to enhance that. So, get out and explore the nature surrounding you on the playground, the walking trail, or the green space with your kids at the park today. If you would like to hold your next event at the park, the amphitheater and pavilion are available for rent. Reservations are made in any 4-hour time blocks from dawn until dusk, and you may rent additional hours. Please call Parks and Recreation to reserve your spot today at 770-445-8065. So, today we learned that Veterans Park is perfect for meeting your fitness, leisure, and entertainment needs. With an easy-to-access walking trail, playground for children, and several planned events throughout the year, be sure to plan a stop at Veterans Park today. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you next time as we find more places for you to explore, unwind, and thrive here in Paulding County, Georgia.
A lot of hard work done by the Legion and the county to get our monument relocated here to Veterans Park. Thank you all for coming. This time, like the presentation of colors, and Tabitha Ketchum will sing the national anthem.
Mark time. Mark. Group. Halt. Left. Three. Three. Zip. Halt.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Right.
Let us pray. Most holy God, ruler of heaven, earth, and all universes, we come to you today thanking you for our freedom, asking your blessings on everyone here, asking your blessings on those who've lost loved ones that we're here to remember. We pray, dear Lord, you go with us through this day, through the further journeys of our life. Watch over us, lead, guide, and direct us. Bless our great county, bless our great state, bless our great nation, dear Lord. Bless our Commander-in-Chief. Go with us now through this day, through the further journeys of our life. Keep us safe and forgive us from our sins. In your holy name I pray. Amen.
Amen. At this time, I would like to present Mr. John Black, Chairman from the American Legion, who headed this entire project for us. He did a wonderful job. John, please come on up.
At this time, according to the program, I'm supposed to introduce our guest speaker, but I'm going to change the chronology of that just a moment. Frank and Jerry, would you unveil the monument for us, please? Good morning. Good morning. It's an honor to speak at this dedication ceremony, Memorial Day 2019. In 1994, American Legion Post 111 provided leadership for construction of the Veterans Memorial. Financial support came from Paulding County citizens, the Paulding County Board of Commissioners, and from American Legion Post 111. At this time, I'd also like to recognize the commander of Post 111 at the time, Wendell Rakestraw. Would you stand up, Wendell? Wendell headed this thing along with several people that are not with us today, sadly. But that crew got it done, and kudos to you. Thank you, Wendell. The Veterans Memorial that you see here today was dedicated June 1st, 1996 on county property located on Watson Drive. That location, for many reasons, has become less significant. Current location is more significant because it's more visible daily to the citizens of Paulding County. It's easily accessible, it has adequate parking, it's located beside a 5-pointed star that y'all are sitting by, representing each branch of the military. It's located in Veterans Park, so appropriately named. As chairman of the Veterans Memorial Relocation Committee of the Legion Post, I'd like to recognize and thank Bill Flesh, Commander, Dave Carmichael, County Commissioner, Chairman, Jerry Rochelle, he was a committee member with me, along with Bill Flesh, members of the Paulding County Commission, citizens of Paulding County who generously donated, American Legion Post 111, and mostly you for being here today. Thank you. As you can see from this beautiful memorial relocation, it's a job well done. And I was told specifically not to mention this guy's name. I don't know where he's at. Sorry, Scott. I gave, well, Jerry, Bill, and I went to, before the commission in April, is that right, Jerry? April, I think, and proposition getting this thing moved. I'm talking about this past April. And since then, this guy, Scott, who I'm not supposed to mention, he's got it done with bids, he's got it done with under tremendous pressure by me, getting the logistics and contractors together and getting it done. I'm telling you, the middle of this week, the sod, concrete was poured. We were down to the wire. Scott, you got it done. Thank you. Am I in trouble, Scott? All right. At the risk of doing a little plagiarism, these words were given to me by Jerry Rochelle on the committee. His wife happens to be my sister. These words were given to me, and I'm going to read them just as they were given to me. We dedicate this site as a sacred place, a place where citizens can visit often to honor, respect, remember the sacrifices and the lives given. Excuse me. A place where veterans gather to share experiences with each other. A place where veterans can sit alone to ponder thoughts they may never share. A place where children can be taught lessons of freedom from their parents, grandparents, friends. Excuse me, I get kind of emotional about this one. It's where true heroes from places like the trenches of France, the forest of Bellawood, beaches of Normandy, Pearl Harbor, the cane fields of the Philippines, the rice paddies and jungles of Guam, Okinawa, Japan, Korea, Iwo Jima, the distant lands of Iraq and Afghanistan will be remembered. A place where 89 names listed on this Veterans Monument will never be forgotten. I ask for a salute to our monument to these men. Now, what'd I drop? Oh, yeah, okay. At this time, I'd like to introduce our speaker. Beginning September 1968, Brother Dave Carmichael attended Vanderbilt University on a football scholarship, played SEC football, 68 to 72. 1972, he graduated from Vanderbilt University, Bachelor of Engineering, Civil Engineering, and I'm going to tell you it's hot, and I'm not going to list everything on this page. If I did, I'll keep you here too long. December 74, he did landings, traps as we call them, on the USS Landing Aircraft Carrier, complete training as a Marine pilot. That's a wrong statement. We say the Army and Air Force had pilots, but Marine and Navy had aviators. In 74 to 78, Skyhawk pilot, weapons tactics instructor at the United States Marine Corps. He moved to Paulding County in 1979. 1989, Department of Transportation Highway Engineer, managed construction of 278. 27, Bremen Bypass. 91, Georgia Office of Transportation Aerial Photography pilot. I should say aviator. 2002, retired United States Marine Corps as a colonel. 2012, retired from Georgia Aviation Authority. 2013, Paulding County Board of Commissioners, Post 1 Commissioner. 2017, became chairman of Paulding County Board of Commissioners. I present to you our speaker today, and somebody that's very instrumental in us being what we're here for today to memorialize this. He's also a member of the American Legion Post 111.
Yes, sir. Before we really get going here, let's face the flag and pledge the flag together. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello everyone, I'm delighted, I'm joyous
to be in your presence, each and every one of you, as we share this special day together, and as we remember those who have gone before and have made the ultimate sacrifice, and also just veterans that assemble here. It's great to be with Paulding Countyans always, and I'm sure we got some visiting Countyans with us also. As has already been mentioned, we finally married up our Veterans Monument with our Veterans Park. And we're where we need to be today, and this monument's where it needs to be today. So, we just need to remember the sacrifices made to our country, and this is a wonderful place for the monument to be seen and appreciated. I've been here as late as 12 midnight many times, and as early as 5 or so in the morning, and unless it's raining or snowing, there are a couple of cars parked out here, and there's somebody that's out here walking, jogging, praying, or in the daytime you see a lot of kids out here playing. So it'll get a lot of views here, it'll get a lot of recognition instead of just being over in the parking lot behind the old bank building. Very, very excited about it. So Memorial Day is about memories, isn't it? But you know, none of us would think that they're very pleasant or they're very sweet. You know, they're memories that we need to have, that we need to spend time remembering, but it's not anything that we, you know, we really mourn over all the losses. There are 89 names on this monument behind me, and I've read most of them. I know 2 of them. I have known 2 of them, and it's so special that people can walk up there and at least see the names of those that are gone before. What we really hear about today is those who have died early deaths, right? Early deaths. Giving up years, what could have been family, what could have been a spouse, what could have been children, a career. Today we remember with great reverence those who have fallen, those who have been killed on the battlefield. Thousands have served, and yes, many have died, including these 89 names behind us. My dad, Benjamin Carmichael, was a Marine Corps corporal, and he was a wireman. They didn't have computers and not even many radios in some cases, so he would lay out the wire. And he made 3 amphibious landings. He landed on Guam, Okinawa, and Guadalcanal. So I feel blessed, I feel fortunate just to be standing here today because Dad came back. Dad came back, but a lot did not come back. They wore the uniform and died for our precious America. We all know that America is different. America was founded on principles of inalienable rights, freedom from the Almighty God, given by the Almighty God, with all men created equal. And the greatest memory of all is the memory when God broke into history 2,000 years ago and gave His only Son, Jesus Christ, to die for all. So Jesus Christ is an example of sacrifice and of dying for that cause, similarly or parallel to the fact that our military folks in the past died for the causes of freedom. So Christ is also an example of the resurrected life, and I think we have a wonderful promise that maybe some of these people that you all know on this monument, that you'll see them at a later date. So this morning we're on hallowed ground with new turf. What makes it hallowed? What makes it holy? What makes it so very special? It's because we're here. We in Paulding County and the surrounding area do dedicate this land to the esteemed men and women, the soldiers, the airmen, the coasties, the sailors and Marines who served. There are veterans who have served, and some of you may have served. Are there any World War II veterans that are here today? Yeah. And we come on up through the different conflicts: Korea, Vietnam, Grenada, the Gulf War, Bosnia, Kosovo, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Libya, And on this Memorial Day, we also remember that freedom is, as we've heard the saying, freedom definitely is not free. It cost your life, certainly far from free. So today we remember all the servicemen and women, all the veterans who have locked arms for our precious United States of America. Now, I'm going to shift gears just for a second, and I'm going to get a partner up here. And I was looking around during the earlier part of the service, and I'm glad there's some young people, young adults, and even teenagers that are in the group here. Raise your hand if you're a teenager. All right, see a few teenagers here. Well, there's going to, in large part, this next part is going to be about you. The veterans understand what Memorial Day is all about. We may get a lump in our throat or a tear in our eye when we think about the veterans that have given it all. But some of you younger citizens may not understand so well. So I want to close with a story, and I am going to get some help here. It's a true story about a young 16-year-old girl named Nancy. It's a story that brings to life the reality of death and what dying for one's country is all about. So Nancy had a grandmother. Y'all got a grandmother? What do you call her? She, Granny, Grandma, Nana. Nancy called her grandmother Meemaw. You know, if you call your grandmother Meemaw? On one Memorial Day years ago, Nancy was leaning against an oak tree in her little town, and the parade was going by. You know what? She was wishing that she were invisible. She was keeping her distance from her parents, as teenagers tend to do, as they were sitting in the lawn chair, and her little brothers and sisters were scampering around and playing. And she hoped none of her friends saw her there. God forbid they caught her waving one of those small little American flags that were bought at a Ben Franklin store. Today it's, I guess, would be the Dollar General. At 16, she was too old, and she was definitely too cool for small-town Memorial Day parades. She thought, I ought to be at the lake. I ought to be at the lake with my friends. But no, the all-day festivities were mandatory in her family. The high school band marches by, the fire truck goes by all polished up with a fireman blasting on the siren, and the troop of World War II veterans went by, and most of them looked a little snug in their uniforms. Then came the 5 black convertibles. The mayor was in the first convertible, is handing out programs. Nancy thought, I don't need to look at one of those. I know everyone that's on there. That's supposed to wake everybody up. So that's my timeout signal. But when I'm going to let Shalini come up now, and she's a teenage girl, and she's gotten to be a friend of mine and her parents. And she volunteered and said that she would come and kind of tell the rest of the story, which really relates to us, what it's like to be a hero, a Memorial Day hero. So Shalini, I appreciate so much you're doing this. You got to stand pretty close to this or else carry it around.
I knew Uncle Bud's name was on the program, as it had been every year since he was killed in Italy. He was our family's war hero. My grandmother, I call Meemaw, was in the next convertible. She was perched on the back seat, smiling and waving. She had her corsage on her lapel and a sign in gold embossed letters on the car door that said Golden Star Mother. That was when you had a son who was killed in the war. I hid behind trees so I wouldn't have to meet her gaze. It wasn't because I didn't love her or appreciate her. She taught me how to sew and play softball and so many other things. She made great cinnamon rolls, which we always ate after the parade. What embarrassed me was all the attention she got from her son who died so many years ago. With 4 other children and a dozen grandchildren, why linger on this one long ago loss? The rest of our Memorial Day ritual was equally scripted. No use in trying to get out of it. I followed my family back to Meemaw's house, where there was the usual softball game in the backyard and the same old reminiscing about Uncle Bud in the kitchen. I retreated to the living room to watch TV. There I found myself staring at that old army photo of Bud on the bookcase. He was the uncle I'd never known. I must have looked at it 1,000 times, so proud of his crested cap and that knotted tie. His uniform was decorated with military emblems. picked up the photo and turned it over. Yellowing tape held a prayer card that read, Lloyd Bud Heisman, 1925 to 1944, a great hero. 19 years old when he died. Not much older than I was, but a great hero. How could you be a hero at 19? Then Meemaw came in the room. She talked of Uncle Bud as she did every year, about his little rat terrier named Jiggs that would ride in the Chevy coupe with him. That Bud was a hard worker, she'd say. He'd bring me his wages from his various jobs. He'd say, Mama, someday I'm going to buy you a brand new farm, I promise. Sometimes I wonder about that boy, dying alone in a muddy ditch in a foreign country he'd only just read about. I thought of that scared kid who jumped out of the foxhole in front of an avenging enemy only to be downed by a sniper. I couldn't reconcile the image of a boy and his dog with that of a stalwart soldier. Meemaw stood beside me looking at the photo. Meemaw, I asked, what's a hero? She opened a small metal box and sat down on the bed next to me. These are Bud's things, she said. They sent them to us after he died. She opened the lid and handed me a telegraph dated October 13, 1944. The Secretary of State regrets to inform you that your son, Lloyd, was killed in Italy. Suddenly I thought, what would I have done if I received a telegraph like that? Meemaw continued talking. Here's Bud's wallet. Even today it was caked with dried mud. In it was Bud's driver's license with the date of his 16th birthday. I compared it with the driver's license I had just received. And in it was a photo of Bud holding a little spotted dog. There was another photo of a pretty dark-haired girl. I asked Meemaw, who's this? She said, this is Marie. Bud dated her in high school. He wanted to marry her when he came home. And I thought, a girlfriend? Marriage? How heartbreaking to have a life, plans, and hopes for a future so brutally snuffed out. Also in the box was a gold watch, a sympathy letter from President Roosevelt, and another from Bud's commanding officer. A medal shaped like a heart, trimmed with a purple ribbon. At the very bottom of the box was the deed to my Meemaw's house. Why is this in here, I asked. Meemaw smiled and said, Bud bought me this house. After his death, the U.S. government gave me $10,000, and with it, I built this house where I'm still living. For a long while, the two of us sat there on the bed. When we put the wallet, the medal, the letters, the watch, the photos, and the deed back in the metal box, I finally understood why it was so important for me and Meemaw to remember Bud on this day. He really was a true American hero because he died for what he believes.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Shalini. And we believe he died for what he believed. We believe in America. We believe it's founded on godly principles. We believe America is worth defending. I personally believe America is worth giving our lives for, giving my life for. And you know, in a lot of ways, whatever you're doing now, military or non-military, in different ways, all of you are giving your life to America by making Paulding County better and making our country better. I'm gonna close with a quote by Martin Luther King, who was not in the military, but some of you, probably all of you, have heard this quote. He said there, if there's nothing worth dying for, there is nothing worth living for. So we give great honor today to our men and women of the military who have gone before and given the ultimate. And I just thank you for allowing me to speak today, and of course to remember those that have gone before. Thank you.
At this time, we will have the presentation of the wreath by David Altweiss, Senior Vice Commander for American Legion Post 111.
This time we will have a moment of silence for those that we have lost.
I'm going to present a military type hat to each of the oldest member of the branch of service.
Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want you to join me today as we explore more of Paulding County, Georgia. Today we are heading out to a hidden gem here in Dallas, Georgia, High Shoals Falls. High Shoals Falls is located at 2184 High Shoals Road in Dallas, Georgia, and although it may not be as well known as some of the areas we have explored here in Paulding County, it will definitely become a stop you will want to make over the summer. Also, there is no cost to visit. So grab a picnic and your beach towels and come join me as we head out to unwind at High Shoals Falls. If you are looking for another fun and relaxing place to visit and get outdoors in Paulding County, then hop on 61 North and make a stop at High Shoals Falls. This beautiful hidden jewel is known to locals, but those that have never traveled the area probably never stop by High Shoals. An easy-to-access trail leads you to the falls where you can spend a summer afternoon swimming and wading in the pool beneath the cascading waterfall. This is an ideal and perfect place to bring the family for a hot summer afternoon. The pool area is not deep, but please remember water safety when visiting or swimming. Because it is a small area, prepare to come early as the falls can get crowded on the weekends. It is a popular place for locals to hang out and space fills up quickly. There's a picnic area available if you want to bring lunch and spend the afternoon here at the falls. Also, make sure to look around the historic cemetery as you enter the falls and maybe stop and ask a local visitor about the folklore surrounding the area. Today we learned that High Shoals should definitely be added to your bucket list of places to visit here in Paulding County. With the summer heat definitely upon us, start planning your day trip to High Shoals to cool off while wading in the waters beneath the beautiful falls. Thanks again for tuning in today, and be sure to join me next time as we find more places in Paulding County to explore, unwind, and thrive.
Elementary School.
Pretty cool, huh? Watch this, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, thank you. Look at that. Did you see that? Okay. So like a picture of penguin, take a picture of it?
Simple, you make a mistake and you just try again.
Making good choices and why it's so important to make those choices.
Hi, Hi, I'm Ashley Gulick, and I want you to join me today as we explore more of Paulding County, Georgia. Today we are headed to the Pickett's Mill Battlefield Historic Site here in Dallas, Georgia. This 765-acre park is a nationally recognized historic site and was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1973. The park is located at 4432 Mount Tabor Church Road in Dallas and is one of the most well-preserved pieces of Civil War history. The historic site is open Thursday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and is closed on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's Day. Admission is $5.50 for adults, $3.50 for seniors, and $3 for youth ages 6 to 17. So, what are you waiting for? Come join me as we head out to discover what awaits you at Pickett's Mill. Who knew that Paulding County was home to one of the best preserved Civil War battlefields in the nation? As such a huge part of American history, Pickett's Mill is the perfect place for history buffs to visit for a day filled with enhancing Civil War and historical knowledge simply by just walking the same roads that Federal and Confederate troops used to prepare for battle back in 1864. While you're here, be sure to take a moment and observe the authentic and well-preserved construction and earthwork embattlements used by these men, and even take a walk through the same ravine where hundreds lost their lives. There is a lesson to learn at every turn here at Pickett's Mill. To entertain those history lovers even more, there is even one of 2 original cannons used during this battle that is currently on display in the museum that is on loan from the Atlanta History Center. Be sure to check that out before it's gone. Hey, so we're here at the cabin, and today we are lucky to have one of the Pickett's Mill Park Rangers join us to tell you a little bit about the significance of Pickett's Mill and some really cool and awesome things to do.
I'm one of the rangers here at Pickett's Mill. Behind me we have the Prather cabin. We had several families that lived here at Pickett's Mill before the battle was even fought here. Both the Pickett and Brand families moved here in the 1840s from South Carolina, and later on, just before the war breaks out, the Leverett family moves in as well and has their own mill built on Pickett's Mill Creek. This cabin behind me represents families that lived here before the war. This cabin itself was built within a few miles from here back in 1853. This cabin is a single-room log cabin with a stone chimney and has a loft above the one room for the children to sleep in primarily. After the Union defeat at the Battle of New Hope Church on May 25, 1864, General William Tecumseh Sherman wants to attack the Confederate right flank, which happened to rest here at Pickett's Mill. On May 27th, he will task General Oliver Howard with the expedition to attack the Confederate right here at Pickett's Mill, and the battle will begin at 5 p.m. that day and will end about 5 hours later with several hundred Union soldiers killed, wounded, and captured, as well as a few hundred more Confederates killed and wounded. The battle is a decisive Confederate victory and will delay Sherman's advance on Atlanta by 2 weeks. We have a 10-minute movie in our museum. The movie talks about the Battle of Pickett's Mill and explains what happened in the battle and how the soldiers moved and how they fought here at Pickett's Mill. The movie helps break down what's going on during that fateful day in May 1864. Next to our movie room, we have a museum with 2 cannons in it. One of the cannons is an original cannon that was actually here fighting at Pickett's Mill under Captain Thomas Key, a Confederate artillery commander. So the other cannon we have is one we fire today. It's a reproduction, and you can practice your artillery drill on that cannon. We also have several musket examples that was used by both sides here at Pickett's Mill. We also have some soldiers' equipment, and we also have some archaeological items from an archaeological expedition done here at Pickett's Mill near the Brand House site.
With 4 miles of trails available for visitors, be sure to take advantage of the park's landscape by foot. The trails are perfect for a variety of ages and fitness levels, so take a day to enhance your mind and your fitness at the same time. The trails are a perfect place to bring children to explore, learn a little local and Georgia history, and burn off the extra energy. So make sure to add a hike at Pickett's Mill to your list of things to do this summer. And don't forget your 4-legged friends either. Pets are welcome to join you on your walk at the park. For you nature lovers out there, the park is full of wildlife, so be sure to be on the lookout for local and Georgia wildlife while exploring the trails. There are picnic tables and group shelters available for use at the park. Be sure to pack your lunch for your trip here and plan to spend a day exploring this important piece of Georgia's and Paulding County's history. There are also several events that take place over the course of the year, so make sure to check out the Pickett's Mill Battlefield page at georgiastateparks.org to plan your next visit. So, today we learned that a visit to Pickett's Mill is perfect for both nature lovers and history buffs, as you can spend a day hiking along the trails and taking in an abundance of Civil War history and culture. Be sure to start planning your trip to Pickett's Mill today, and be sure to join me next time to explore, unwind, and thrive here in Paulding County, Georgia.
Welcome to Paulding County Fire and Rescue's Behind the Red Line. Today we're here to talk about smoke alarms, and here to help me is Sparky the fire dog. Sparky, you're like a rock star these days, so thanks for making the time to be with us. Did you know over 2,500 people are killed each year in house fires? And Sparky, did you know that most of those people didn't have working smoke detectors in their houses? We want to help fix that, right? Paulding County Fire and Rescue has a program called Operation Save a Life. The program provides smoke alarms to families and citizens of Paulding County who might struggle to make ends meet and who can't afford to purchase them. Sparky, how much does it cost for Paulding County Fire and Rescue to give a family like that smoke alarms? $0 exactly. If you don't have a working smoke alarm in your home, Paulding County Fire and Rescue will provide them to you free of charge. These are battery-operated smoke alarms with no wiring necessary. And in certain circumstances, our firefighters will actually come and install them in your home for you. Free is pretty good, right, Sparky? Yeah, exactly. And having someone install them in your home is even better, right? But there's some rules we need to talk about. So here they are. Let's talk about what we can and what we can't do. First, if you already have smoke detectors and the batteries are dead, will we give you new ones? No. You need to replace your own batteries every year. The fire department doesn't do that. What if you already have pre-wired smoke detectors in your house? Can we fix those if they're not working? Very good, Sparky. If you have smoke detectors that are pre-wired by the builder, you need to contact an electrician to help if they're not working. And last, what if you have really high ceilings in your house? Can we do that? No. The fire department will only install smoke detectors up to 8 feet from the floor. And if you have a higher ceiling, you're going to need to contact a handyman. Our ladders simply are not made for interior applications, and we're afraid will damage your floors. So Sparky, if someone needs a smoke alarm and they can't afford one, what do? Call the fire department. You can contact the Fire Department Administration at 770-222-1160 for more information. Thanks for watching this edition of Behind the Red Line, and Sparky, thank you for being here to help us.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This time I'll call the Paulding County Board of Commissioners July 9th regular meeting to order. Glad everyone's here this afternoon to do county business. Brian, if you bring forward the sheet, and good time to silence your telephones. Thank you. If you will, stand with me and we'll have an invocation and pledge the flag. Let's all be thankful together. Heavenly Father, we just bow humbly and graciously before you and thank you for this day. Thank you for the many blessings of life. Thank you for just friends and staff and first responders in which to work, and I feel like Paulding County is a safe place, a place that cares and wants to make the right decisions, wants to plan and work together for results. Let's pray protection over our whole country, and I pray these things in Christ's name. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll take action here to adopt the June 25th, 2019 work session minutes, the February 26th, 2019 board meeting minutes, and the June 26th, 2019 town hall meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hart. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. I'll ask my friend on the left to do the announcements, and so I'll turn it over to him.
Okay, there's only one announcement. The Paulding County Board of Commissioners, we're going to hold the public hearing for the tax increase on July 23rd at 9 a.m. and then again at 6 p.m. And then the third one will be on August 13th at 9 a.m. These public hearings, they must be separate from regular work sessions, of course, but we will have a budget hearing on July 23rd, also at 10 a.m.
Thank you, sir. We have no invited guests. Bid awards. Number one is action to award the Harmony Grove Church Road Curve Realignment Project to the lowest responsive bidder, Bartow Paving Incorporated, in the amount of $469,189.33. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to award.
Motion to award by Commissioner Stover. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Caker. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Carries 5-0. We don't have any reports from departments this afternoon. No one did sign up on the agenda items. We don't have the consent agenda this afternoon, and old business, none. New business is number one is action to approve the change order 6 to the Arcadis US Incorporated for additional services during construction, materials testing, and inspection services for the Richland Creek Dam project in the amount of $675,065. Funding will be offset from retainage withheld per the dam contract as a special damage assessment to the dam contractor for not achieving the contracted schedule.
Make a motion.
I started to say, do I hear a damn emotion?
Motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second Brian's motion.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Stover with a second by Commissioner Davis. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Carries 5-0. Number two is action to authorize the chairman to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with the Paulding County Board of Education, defining responsibilities and cost sharing for the construction of a right turn lane on Colbert Road between Abney Elementary School and Gullidge Road. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion approved by Commissioner Stover. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hart. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Carries 5-0. Anybody got any alibi announcements? Congratulations, birthdays.
Well, don't forget we do have the groundbreaking on Thursday for the Greystone property.
And if you don't know where that is, either folks on TV or in the room here, Highway 92, right across the street from Pine Valley Road. Scott, I guess there'll be some flags up or something. Or George, do you know? Okay.
I'll also make mention, Dave, that later this week on Friday morning, they will have graduation ceremony for the participants in the drug court. If you guys, speaking specifically to the board, haven't been, you should go to that. Other department heads and public should look at that if you're able. It's a great opportunity to see the change that system is actually being able to have in lives, and putting a face and seeing the families that are reunited through that program. So I'm a big supporter of that program, and I will be there Friday morning, and I'd encourage anybody else who has the opportunity. I think it's 10:30 over at the courthouse.
Thank you for that announcement. Anyone else? Baker Street, you got anything, sir?
No, sir, no.
Okay. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion, we adjourn.
We have a motion by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stover. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned.
For tonight's game of ABO Baseball, brought to you by the Alternative Baseball Organization, between the Paulding County Celebrities and your team, ABO. Play ball! Play ball, that's right.
Hey everybody, this is Vernon Collette, Commissioner Post 3. I'm out here tonight at the Paulding Celebrity Classic. We're going to have fun. All you out there understand though, you better be praying for us old guys. We're going to get the best we can, but you never know.
My name is Taylor Duncan. I am 22 years old. I am originally from Dallas, Georgia, and I am the CEO, Commissioner, and founder of Alternative Baseball Organization. Here tonight we have our inaugural Celebrity Classic, featuring our players playing against a team of Paulding's most influential figures. For more information on our program, you can log on to www.alternativebaseball.org. Our program is for those 15 and over, and we're constantly looking for new players to join our program. So if you're 15 or older, regardless of whatever level of experience of baseball you've ever played, go on alternativebaseball.org today and fill out the player pool application.
This time it's do or die for the Paulding County Celebrities as they lead off with batter Ron Davis. And once again, tonight's final score, ABO 12, Paulding County Celebrities 11.
Hello, Paulding Countyans. It's a pleasure to be with you today, and I have with me Mr. Tommy Leonard, who is the director of our recycling and also oversees everything at our landfill. You know, this Chairman's Corner is designed just to give you more information about your county and to give you some guidance in using our departments, in this case using the transfer station at the north part of our county. So good morning, Tommy.
Good morning, sir.
It's great to have you here, and I'd like to start out by allowing you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I have actually been an employee of Paulding County since 2004. I'm approaching my 14th year here. Started out at the recycling center and also executive director of Keep Paulding Beautiful for 11 years. I moved into my current position in May of 3 years ago as operations manager overseeing both facilities, recycling and the landfill. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, as well as my mother and father are veterans, and my sons and 4 uncles proudly served the military in World War II as well.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, we want to fill the public, our citizens that we value so much, with as much information as we can give them, and just start out with the categories of material that we accept at the landfill and recycling.
Yes. Well, basically we accept household recycling. Most of our products are in the lines of paper, plastic, corrugated cardboard, aluminum cans, and steel cans. But for a full list, and we recommend that you do this, is if you go to paulding.gov, to our county website, click on the tab for the departments, and click on the recycling link. It'll give you a complete list of all the items we accept and what we do not accept, our hours of operations and directions to our facility.
Super. Well, I'm interested in the volumes of different categories and even the weights. I think that would be interesting.
Oh, that's great. I've got some numbers here I'd like to share with the county. As a matter of fact, we're just growing and growing with all of the growth around us at the Cedar Crest area, Bentwater, Seven Hills, and Nature Walk. But we're excelling mostly in scrap metal right now as our number one. We have received 400 tons of scrap metal that's been processed and returned to recyclers and sold for revenue. That is our number one item. That second would be followed by corrugated cardboard, and we average about 9 tons or 18,000 pounds a month on that as well. And we also receive about 7 tons of mixed paper each month and about 10,000 pounds or 5 tons of household glass. Those are basic items that we accept, and they're immediately, or as soon as we have loads for them, they're returned to vendors and immediately put back into the recycling stream.
That's amazing. I don't think many of our listeners would have guessed anywhere near that high. What instructions would you provide to the citizen wishing to use our transfer station and our recycling facility?
We just simply ask that they have all of their items separated when recycling to avoid cross-contamination. Recently, China has stopped accepting almost all materials from the United States due to heavy loads of contaminated products. We just ask that you would please obey the traffic directions when you come into our facility. We will be able to assist you in and out rapidly if all the items are separated in order.
Sounds easy enough. The charge to recycle, I think they'd be interested in that if there is a charge.
There is no charge for your basic household items. The only thing we have to charge for are automobile tires. Passenger tires are $3, truck tires are $5. There'll be an additional $1 if they have a rim still assembled to the tire. And we do not accept any off-road tires. So that's the only thing we have to charge for. The rest of it is free to the citizens.
A good way to put things back into circulation. As far as a charge at the transfer station, Tommy, how does that work?
We recently had our first price increase in many, many years. It was very minimal. If you are a Paulding County citizen, it's $45 a ton. But your first, when you weigh in with a small load, it's $10 for the first 300 pounds. And then it is prorated up to $45 a ton. If you're an out-of-county resident, it is it's $20 for the first 300 pounds, and each additional 300 pounds is $20 as well.
And you're located so close to Cobb County, I'm sure you have plenty of trucks, vehicles come in from there.
We do. We do have a lot of out-of-county. It has slowed down some since we did the price increase, but we still do receive quite a bit from Cobb County.
Well, tell us about your hours of operation.
Our hours of operation at the recycling center, we're open Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. We're closed on Wednesday, and we're open on Saturday from 8 o'clock until 12 noon. Our transfer station is open 6 days a week from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m.
With all the traffic, I've been out there and there's sometimes a pretty long line to get through. I'm sure you need to have rules, and this would be a good time to explain those rules to the people that would like to use our landfill area.
Yes. First and foremost, we ask that all of our citizens obey the instructions of our operators. We're moving heavy equipment around as the citizens are with us. We also we ask that you be patient with us, especially on Saturdays, because that's when we receive the bulk of our citizens coming there. To accommodate the Saturday flow, what we've done during the week, we accept no commercial loads after 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and we do not accept any commercial loads on Saturday at all, so we can meet the needs of our citizens on Saturdays, because that's the day that many of them have off to take care of their business with us.
Sounds very practical. Does the center make any money for the county?
Oh, yes, the recycling center, absolutely. I wanted to share a few numbers with you. We return several thousands of dollars each fiscal year to the general budget, and as of today, we have received in revenues over $57,000 from the items that we have received at our facility and then sent to vendors that make new products out of those. But for every ton that we divert out of the landfill at $45 a ton, we also have what's called a cost savings, and that is $26,002 that we had landfilled that would have been an additional cost for us to transfer those materials out of the county. So we are bringing money and generating money in.
Makes it a business, doesn't it?
It is indeed. It has to be run like a business, because we don't want to be a burden to the taxpayers, but we want to be good stewards of what we've been blessed with.
Awesome. Well, that's a lot of information. We had some thoughts here on additional information that just kind of miscellaneous things, so let's talk about those.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to let everybody know that we're in the process of making the upgrades to our facility at the landfill. We're in the process of putting in a new scale system where when our citizens come out, they'll weigh in on one side, they'll weigh out on another. There will be no need for alternating on and off. That'll take care of a lot of our traffic problems. We anticipate ongoing projects to bring us up to speed. Probably for the next 3 years, we'll be adding additional buildings, additional equipment, and probably additional employees as well. There'll be new entrants to come into the facility. It'll be smooth in and out, and it's really going to expedite the time that you stay there and avoid the long backups we have on Saturdays. We're looking forward to that. And it's always our endeavor to be good neighbors to the surrounding community.
I appreciate your being here today. The information has not only been helpful to me, but I'm sure our audience. And I'd like to express appreciation to you and your staff. I know what a good leader you are to your staff members out there, because when I go out, they tell me that. And so appreciate your leadership in that area and how much it means to the county.
Well, we thank you too, and we thank you for the support from the commissioners, because we couldn't do what we do without the full support of our citizens and our commissioners. If anybody has any questions, they can feel free to contact me at tleonard@paulding.gov. Leave me a voicemail or shoot me an email. I do return all of my calls as promptly as I can. We're available for tours, speaking engagements, whatever it takes to just to be good neighbors in our community.
Very, very good. We will have that phone number and site or email address on this video. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Okay, so really before I start, you guys are trying to steal my thunder. Last year, when Dr. Newcomb and I spoke, I talked a little bit about wins and victories for the college. And that's kind of how I parlayed all the great things that were going on at the college. And in my talk, I mentioned I mentioned a lot of events that were going on. Last year, we met the week before spring break. So if you'll remember, it was opening day for the Braves. It was about 2 weeks out from the Masters. It was the weekend before the Final Four. Lots of really great sporting events going on if you're a big sports fan. And so during my talk, I mentioned 3 teams by name. The first team, well, not the first team I mentioned, but one of the teams I mentioned were the Atlanta Braves. I hope that they got an opening day victory. If you'll remember, Nick Markakis hit a walk-off home run. We won, and then we won the division. Okay? Then second, I mentioned my daughter's softball team. Now, they're an 8U softball team that was very serious. That was our first foray into softball. And they lost 1 game all season by 1 run and went on to win the 8U county championship. Now, the first team I mentioned was my beloved Clemson Tigers. And we all know how the season ended there. So, yes, exactly right. So, but really the last team that we mentioned was our wonderful community and our wonderful college and how they're working together. And I think recently we all can celebrate a $35 million victory for our community that Dr. Newcomb is going to talk about in just a few minutes. I want to take just a few minutes to just, again, remind you some things about the college. I think sometimes there's some things that surprise folks who may not work with the college. Traditionally, we are about the 7th largest college in the state of Georgia. This fall, we had over 10,000 students enrolled. In 1 year annually, we'll have over 14,000 students enrolled. We have multiple campuses. Our campus here in Paulding is about the 3rd largest campus. The larger one, the largest campus is in Marietta, as well as the North Metro campus in Ackworth, and then online. That continues to be our fastest growing campus. Some exciting things are going on, one of which is our partnership with the school district for the Paulding College and Career Academy. Very excited that that will open this fall. At last count, I think we were up to over 150 students have selected that for their high school home this fall. So really great things. We look forward to working with the county, to expanding that, to being able to offer some of our programs there, getting these students ready for careers after they graduate. Just some fast facts about our county in the college. You can see about 1,200 students every year from Paulding County are enrolled at Chattahoochee Tech. So not everyone from Paulding goes to the Paulding campus. Obviously, with many of our programs, there's specific equipment that is required, and that equipment cannot be at every program. So if a student, for example, wants to do our TV production program, there we go, graduate over there behind the camera, they travel to our Mountain View campus, which is in East Cobb. And so there are a lot of, and also if you live in the north part of the county like I do, really the North Metro campus is just as close as the Paulding campus is. So students are dispersed all over our campuses. That awards number is going to include any resident of Paulding who received a professional certificate, a diploma, or an associate degree. So we're really excited about that. Again, we're in 3rd place county-wise with our other counties that we serve. Interestingly enough, those other 2 counties that are ahead of us, Cobb and Cherokee, have more than 1 campus in their county, and I think that probably is a correlation. Currently, there are 417 Paulding residents who are doing dual enrollment. So those may be students who are in our school system, they could be private school students, or they could be homeschool students, but they are beginning their college career early, taking advantage of those opportunities. The 2 pictures that are up here, the top one is a staff member of mine who has lived in Paulding for over 20 years. Polly is fabulous. She works great. That may or may not be me beside her. And then that bottom picture is a group at our campus who is involved in our engagement committee. They do great things in our community. You'll see us at Relay for Life. You'll see us at Touch a Truck. And this summer we did a school supply drive for our school system. There's Stuff a Bus. And so we're making our donations that day to the school bus. The Paulding campus, of course, sits at on the corner of 278 in Dallas. Our average enrollment at that campus is around 800. That's stayed about the same, 838 this semester, stays about the same there. Again, a lot of students are starting to take more classes online, and many of our students attend more than 1 campus. It's not unusual for a student to come to Paulding 2 days a week and North Metro 2 days a week. Really not an unusual thing. We have two programs that I would consider our Paulding campus's flagship programs. Our welding and joining program. Mr. Jim Thomas is here. Many of you know him. He's our lead faculty member in that program. The program continues to grow. We're so lucky that we're about to finish renovations that will double our welding space at Paulding. Very excited for that because, as many of you remember, when that program opened several years ago, it filled immediately. And this will provide them with more space. Also, we're happy that BLD was able to make a donation to us for some equipment that's going to help our program as well. This photo that's on the left is taken at a welding competition that Mr. Thomas helped organize along with some businesses in our area to expose our students to those businesses, as well as just let them show off all their skills. And so we're excited about that. The airport hosted that event. The truck in the middle is a mobile welding lab that the Technical College System of Georgia has created. Really neat stuff that's going on there. The second program that I would consider our flagship program is our Associate of Science in Nursing program. Every county that Dr. Newcomb goes to or that any of us visits begs for this program. Historically, it was in Cobb, and several years ago, we moved it to our Paulding campus. The students love it. It's been great for our campus. It's rejuvenated the campus, I think. You'll notice that bottom bullet that students come from 13 different counties to attend that program. So folks from 12 outside counties are coming to our campus to be in that program. It's phenomenal. I cannot say enough about the program's success and what they're doing. That NCLEX rate up there, if you've ever heard me talk before, I say this, and so I apologize for repeating. But nationally, the average pass rate for a student who earns a bachelor's degree is about 82%, an associate degree is about 82%. For a bachelor's degree graduate, it's about 87%. Our pass rate last year, 100%. So our students, not only are they learning in the classroom, making a difference in our community, but they're passing that licensure test, which is so important. That's how the program is judged. You will see that this year we were ranked the 3rd best nursing college in the state of Georgia. We were 5th previously and have moved up to 3rd based on those passage rates. Continue to do wonderful things. Thank you. And I wanted to just share, when you go home tonight, you're not going to remember the numbers that I've told you or that you've read up here, but I want you to remember a face. And this is my student that I want to talk about today. This is Bree Cooper. She is a graduate of North Paulding High School. I met Bree several years ago at a scholarship luncheon. Our foundation gives away almost $100,000 in student scholarships every year. And Bree was one of the people that our Rotary Club, the Paulding County Rotary, awarded a scholarship to. So I got to meet her. Started having conversation, and first of all, she's adorable. I mean, could she be any cuter? And then we started chatting, and she told me at that time that she wanted to get accepted into our nursing program. And I encouraged her and said that was wonderful, but I know the reality of our registered nursing program. It is very difficult to get in. Many classes, over 10% of the students already have bachelor's degrees. We'll have 500 students compete for 50 spots. It is extremely competitive. And honestly, I was concerned because the odds they're difficult. And so I checked the roster when the class was selected, and Bree's name was not on there. And so we had been emailing back and forth, and she emailed me, said, I didn't get in to the RN program, but I got into the practical nursing program that's at Marietta. I said, Bree, that's great. I said, you're going to do great things. You'll have, I tried to be positive. I was like, you'll have doctor's office hours. You won't be, in the hospital. Many of the nurses at my pediatrician's office are LPNs. This is going to be a great fit for you. And so we continue to stay in touch. That following year, that picture on the left was taken when she decided to go to the Dominican Republic and volunteer in a women and children's hospital on one of her breaks. So again, I'm just falling more and more in love with this child because she wants to do good things. And so this summer, she messaged me and said, taking my licensure test for practical nursing. Then she let me know that she passed it, and I sent her an email saying, great. And then about a week later, she emailed me to say she had been selected for our bridge program to go from LPN to RN. So I show you Bree's picture. I show you her picture with her permission because she is our student. She is the type of she's the type of nurse I want. I want somebody who wants to be a nurse, who will go and serve, who wants it that bad, that she'll go the long way around because that's what she wants. And Bree is our student. She's on track to graduate in December. And I know our nursing faculty over here are busy whipping her into shape because we don't put out nurses that can't pass that test and cannot provide good care. So this is Bree, and I want you guys to remember her because these, again, are our students.
Let's talk about the advanced manufacturing building that's going to be in the North Metro campus. So before I forget, this is so important I say this. I want to thank governors and General Assembly members, all of you legislators here today, for being so very supportive of Chat Tech, of the Technical College System of Georgia, for our mission of workforce development, for the resources to get it done, for 3 buildings, one in the 17, 18, and 19 session. And thank you so much. We have got 1/8 of the state's population in our 6-county area. And so the argument I make, not to diminish any of my 21 peer technical colleges, but if we've got 1/8 of the state's population, we should get 1/8 of the new buildings, right? And so the advanced manufacturing building is something we're very excited about. It'll be on the North Metro campus. It's a smaller building, but it's going to be the way I put it, it's going to be a demonstration lab type building. That is, if you went into a modern manufacturing facility, what are the kinds of things that you would see there, the way pieces of equipment work together to cause manufacturing to take place. We're very excited about that. I was looking for the number of square feet. Jason Tanner, how many feet we're going to have in that?
It's going to be a little under that 20,000 up there on the screen.
It's going to be a little under it. We ended up incorporating some really cool features inside. We're not sure how many labs yet, but the big rolling doors. And our vision is that as you move from one to the other, you see how the processes in a manufacturing plant interact with each other. We won't tell you the exact amount just yet, but it'll be on the North Metro campus. We're in the design stage now. Next click. The Health Sciences building on the Marietta campus. We're very excited about this. For whatever reason, the Chattahoochee Tech in Cobb County, which is the largest county, didn't have a health building. So we were so pleased when the Governor General Assembly got us a health building to construct there. It's under construction, 3-story. It's closed in now. All the metal studs are in place. They're working on finishing the decisions on wiring and putting it in place. And so it's coming along very well. We expect to get it in November-ish. And so excited. We'll have classes in January. And the kinds of programs you see up there, it'll be occupational therapy assistant, medical assisting, practical nursing, and 2 or 3 others. And lots of labs, biology and a chemistry lab and so forth. So we're very happy with that. The next one, is anybody interested in me saying a word or two about this aviation academy? Let me make and I don't want to turn this program in today to be about the Aviation Academy. It's about our honorees today. But I do want to tell you, we're so excited about this building. There are only 3 states that employ more individuals in this field than Georgia. They're what you might expect, California, Texas, and Florida. Aviation maintenance faces 2 huge shortages, and other industries do as well. There's some baby boomers that are aging and leaving the workforce, but the industry is growing so rapidly. One of the limiting factors, as we well know in business and industry today, especially in industrial settings, is the availability of workers. There are people in this room that will tell me privately, I could expand my business if I could find more of fill in the blank. And that's what we're about at Chat Tech and the Technical College System of Georgia, is producing more workers. Well, it's the same thing in the aviation industry. They need more mechanics. The Bureau of Labor Statistics tells us that the average salary will be about $60,000, that give or take, depending on where you are and what you're doing. Job growth is going to be better than national trends in other areas. And of course, it'll be out here at the Silver Comet Field at the Paulding Northwest Airport. It's about 8 miles from our Paulding campus. There are several groups we'll be working with to cause this to happen. One is, of course, local officials. I have nothing but great things to say about local Paulding officials, elected and appointed, and staff that are working so well, and authorities and others, and local legislators, and everyone is pulling in that direction to get this done. And by get this done, when you're going to build something new at an airport, there's a few things you need to work out. And when it involves FAA approval, there are a few things to work out. And of course, we're going to go through also through SACS, COC, our accrediting body. And we've got a sequence that's starting to fall into place as to the things that we need to do and need to happen to cause that to happen. We'll end up offering out there 2 certificates. One is airframe, which is everything except the engines, and power plant, which is the engines. We'll have a certificate in each one of those. And then a student can quit on one or both of those. We, of course, don't want them to quit with one or both of those, but to go on and put some core and get a diploma, and then add more core and get a 2-year Associate of Applied Science degree. And that's our goal for everybody that comes through there. You're here, let's do it while you're here. The program here is going to be so accessible to everybody you heard how many counties, how much distance people drive to get to a nursing program? I think that's going to be that plus for people to drive to get here to this program. And it's so accessible to, isn't there some world's busiest airport down the street? So much going on in the airport industry and aviation industry. We're going to provide a supply of highly skilled, highly qualified graduates for those programs. We're very excited. We will keep you in the loop as things develop, or you'll find out on your own. I know there's lots of folks talking about it, but Chat Tech is so proud to have this building. Thank you again for everybody that helped cause this to happen. All right, that's good news, isn't it? All right, let's hear it.
Hello, Paulding County, and welcome to another Chairman's Corner. We are fortunate today to have with us our Fire Chief, Joey Pelfrey, and our intention here is to give you information that we think would be interesting to you and maybe helpful to you in time of a fire emergency. So, Joey, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Good
Appreciate
to see you.
Let me come.
And I always like to start out with kind of an individual's background and how you got into firefighting and then became the fire chief.
Okay. Well, I was fortunate enough to work my way up through the ranks. I've been with Paulding County Fire Department since 1996, a little over 22 years. Was able to work my way up from firefighter through the ranks to officer, fire officer, and deputy chief, and became fire chief in 2014.
So firefighting and fire expertise has been your livelihood for quite a while. And
it was in my 30s. I'm telling my age now, but but in my 30s. I was in the construction business up until then, and decided I want to be a firefighter when I got a little older, and it's been a lifelong dream of mine, and it came true.
That's great. That's great. Well, as far as the history of the fire department, you've seen a lot of it in those years, and I've always found it interesting to, my wife and I have lived here for 37 years, and back when we moved here, there was no fire department.
Right. Yeah, I moved here 27 years ago in 1991. It was an all-volunteer fire department, and that's when I became a volunteer firefighter here until '96. And it was all volunteer, and they hired the first firefighters in 1995, and it's grown to 162 firefighters now.
And they obviously working shifts, and the rotation there has got to be challenging sometimes.
They do. They work 24 hours on shift, and they're off for 48. Seems like you're here more the 24 than you are the 48. But yes, they work a rigorous schedule, and they do a great job. We got some fantastic employees out there that train hard and do a good job for the citizens.
Yeah, the ones I've met are just exceptional individuals, and I've met most of them. What kind of budget are we talking about? I think it might be interesting to the citizens because it is part of their property tax and a millage rate. So.
Sure. The fire department budget currently this year is going to be about $13.1 million, and that covers salaries, the fringe benefits, operating cost, and all that. That does not include the spliced. We do have spliced to purchase vehicles and large equipment items with it, and we wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for the citizens passing the fire tax back in 2006. And we've been able to grow the fire department to keep up with all the housing boom and the population growth to be able to respond to all the calls that we respond to.
Outstanding. With the county growing, as you just mentioned, we've had to add fire stations, or try to, as we could afford. And so speak to that, as how many fire stations we have.
At this time we have 12 fire stations, and they're placed throughout the county to respond to the citizens' needs. We also are planning on building some more. We have some planned in the splice to build some more fire stations, trying to keep our fire protection class at a 3, to where the citizens can have lower insurance rates on their homes.
Right. So that's the fire protection rating?
Yes. What that is that the rating is a country-wide classification system set up by ISO, or Insurance Services Office. They set these rates. They come in and evaluate the fire departments, their communication system, as well as the water, and they give you a rating from 1 to 10, 1 being excellent, up to 10. We were recently graded in 2015. We were a fire classification of 5, and we got it lowered to a 3, which saved the citizens a lot of money on their home insurance rates. And that's what home insurance rates are set by these insurance industries. They look at these classifications that the ISO set.
So obviously we're working, trying to get a lower number like a golf score. And what kind of improvements would they be looking for to get us to a 1?
Well, if the county continues to grow, you have to continue to add fire stations and equipment and personnel and improve on the water system. So it's a continuous battle to keep up with it. They come in every 3 years and evaluate you on an average. So they should be here anytime, maybe this year, to look at us again and evaluate us. And we just want to at least try to keep that 3 and go even better if we can.
There are a few departments in our county that have boards, and the fire department is one that does have a board. You want to speak about your advisory board?
Yes, the Board of Commissioners created in 2010 created a fire advisory board. The fire advisory board, we meet quarterly. It's a public open meeting. Each commissioner chooses one citizen to be on that board, and they come to these meetings and we discuss all the expenditures in the department, the planning of the department. We get all their advice, and they can report back to the commissioners and just kind of keep an eye on what we're doing in the fire department, where they can give this information to the commissioners they can base their decisions off future plans.
Well, I think our citizens, and maybe there's some youngsters in the audience that would be interested in the type of training that the firefighters undergo. And
we're actually graduating a recruit class this year, and I can kind of go through what they do to become a firefighter. We have a lot of high school students that call. they're getting out, and some older guys like I was getting into firefighting. They come in and we do our own training here, and we do a 14-week school. They get all kinds of medical training, hazmat training, firefighting operations, and extrication. They go through this 14-week school, and then they take a state test and a national professional qualification test, and they become a firefighter 1 and a firefighter 2 is what we do in our classes. We also have EMTs and paramedics in every station for a minimum of an EMT, and they have to go through school. That's outside of here, and it's a 1-year school. But we do have to do that because we do run first responder and basic life support trucks, and we're required to have that by the state. So we have that training as well. So it does take a couple of years to get a firefighter EMT trained up and able to run calls efficiently.
It seems like it would definitely take time to acquire all that knowledge. So you mentioned we have 12 fire stations with one more in the not too distant future, for sure. What's the top priority of our fire department?
Well, you know, we did mention the ISO. We've been mentioning a lot of things here, but it's the biggest thing for us is to take care of our employees and give the citizens the best service we can. You know, we know that we're stewards of the taxpayers' money. We know that they pay their dollars to see a good fire department, and that's what we plan on doing. I'm surrounded by fantastic personnel that are dedicated to the citizens in the department, and I believe that any of the citizens, if they came by and discussed the fire department with any of those firefighters or myself, they'll realize they have a top-notch fire department, and I have some excellent employees.
Well, there couldn't be a better word to close on than that. Just proud of your employees, and I'm proud of our whole department, and I know our whole Board of Commissioners is, and just applaud you all for your commitment and you know, your willingness to serve and to be ready to possibly save the life of one of our family members. So I appreciate what you do, Chief Pelfrey, and thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.